Jesus Christ, you people suck. Wow. Wolverine on it.
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady. But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
Alright, it's time. Another week of N4G Radio. This is episode 713 for September 5th. Actually, it'll be September 6th, 2022, because we're going to put this up on Tuesday. On the show this week, we have Drew,
Hello.
and we have Terrence,
What up?
and we got Anthony.
I'm not dead
You're not dead.
yet.
I am excited
Yet.
about that you have lived. I just want you to know that, man.
You're the only one.
Hey, all it takes
Only
is
one.
one, though.
Not even
All
me.
it
I'm
takes
not
is
even
one.
excited.
Oh, well, damn.
Why is-
Okay.
Why was he dying? I missed this.
Didn't somebody say I was dead last episode?
We just come up with excuses to say that people are dead so we can use the Jeff Keighley voice.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Batman is
Anthony-
dead.
Anthony is not dead yet.
Not yet.
Not yeah. Anthony is not dead yet.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go through and I guess we'll talk. This is weird because when you guys are talking and I'm not talking, I have like empty lines. That's freaking me out.
That's okay.
Yeah, this is.
Been doing this
Hey,
for-
everybody! This is the first podcast that we're recording locally, so it may sound better.
Yeah.
Or it may
Or it
sound
may
like
sound
garbage.
worse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on
there's that.
Ken's ability to mix audio.
Hey, I've been doing this for 14, 15 years and I still suck at it. So
I was gonna say, it
whatever.
still sounds like shit. So
Yeah, that's it. Always will.
sounds
It's
like
kinda-
we're all talking through a radio, and then you're recording the radio in a separate room.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me get some background noise going, and we'll really get the feel.
Let me turn on my
going.
fan. No.
Yeah. I sit right by my air conditioning vent, so that's why I had to download NVIDIA Broadcast, so I could suppress the background noise.
You know what? That's what I'm worried about because I set up my space in the basement and I'm next to my air conditioner. Like I hear it right now and I'm like, oh man, I hope they don't hear this. Oh jeez.
Don't forget, you can no longer mute yourself on Discord. You'll have to mute your mic itself.
Right. Yeah, I did remember that.
I got a little button on my mic that I can mute myself with, so that's
Yep. Me
That's a
too.
bonus.
Yeah.
I just turned down the recording volume and to 0, and then I just turn it back up again.
fancy.
Okay, you fancy. Yeah, you fancy.
Alright, well, I guess we can get started talking about video games. I'll start with Drew, I suppose.
Okay. Let's see here. I started The Sinking City with Anthony and Matt for Phoenix Down.
And you're enjoying it.
I am enjoying the crap out of that game. That game does not hold your hand with anything.
No, and so, fun fact, I was like, these enemies, my difficulty's still on normal. Yes, it was on normal for the enemies. I was like, I don't want to play this game like a survival horror game. I wanted to play this as a detective game with like light survival horror elements. And sure enough, it was on normal difficulty. So I bumped that down to easy, and my life is a lot simpler. Because I'm playing on the hardest puzzle / detective level.
Yeah.
So I have to do a lot more digging to get information. It does not hold my hand at any part of that.
Why are you playing at the harder difficulty? Because you got why?
So you have kind of like the Silent Hill. You have 2 different difficulty settings. One of them's the combat. If you turn it up, enemies deal like double damage and have bigger health bars, and the standard sort of how we do something, make something difficult. Turn it down, enemies take more damage, have less health, and your med kits heal you to full. And so there's that's kind of the basic difficulty setting. The detective setting, however, If you switch it down to easy, it just tells you everything. It will just basically highlight on the map, like, here's where to go next. The normal mode, Drew can attest to better, because it's been a while since I played that. And the hardcore detective mode is like, it tells you that you have evidence, but it does not tell you that you've collected all of it. It will tell you, like, you have something new in the Mind Palace, but it does not tell you that, like, there's things to do there, and it's like a small brief, like, something has been added to the Mind Palace, and it's like no different than when you add something to your inventory. It gives you no hints at all.
I got you. Okay, yeah. I think I would like the harder difficulty. I like that. Okay. All
The
right.
normal difficulty doesn't hold your hand either. The only thing it will tell you is like, so there's a lot of times in the game where you'll have to cross-reference information, like you go to like a hospital. You know, you go to the hospital, look for patient records. What you have to do when you cross-reference something is have a piece of evidence that you have in your inventory already, and you have to cross-reference it with 3 of 5 categories. And on normal, it will tell you this is the piece of evidence you need to cross-reference, but you still don't know what categories to even look for. You have to basically come up with that yourself. So I would say it's guided, but it's not do these. You know,
Yeah, and
there's still a lot of thought involved.
In the hardest level, any of that cross-referencing stuff, good luck.
Yeah, you're on your
You
own.
don't know what piece of evidence to be looking at, and some of them, sometimes you have multiple pieces of evidence, and
Yeah.
there's different records to cross-reference, and that means nothing, right? Like, am I looking for a police report, or am I looking for, like, you'll have a piece of evidence, and you'll go, am I looking for a police report, or am I looking to go to the city hall and get information there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's actually really cool, the detective stuff in that, and there's choices in the game, and I'm thinking that there's consequences to your choices. We haven't seen those come to fruition just yet, but there's the third case in the game. I hate both choices. Both choices suck. They are.
That's with the fish peddlers?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're siding with
Fish
either.
peddlers.
Dude, you're siding with 2 horrible people. You have to choose between the 2 horrible people to side with. And I was like, I don't like either of these choices. So I don't even know which one's the lesser of the 2 evils at this point. So I just, you just got to go with it. They make some pretty good stuff. And the way they handle some of the sanity effects in that game are really cool. Like there's a lot to that game. And I'm pleasantly surprised by it.
There's
So,
been
What are you playing on?
I'm playing on Series X.
So you got the actual Series X upgraded
Yes.
version? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So it looks nice.
There's
It
been
looks
twice where I've audibly, like, gone, holy fucking shit! Like, when the big bads come out, and they don't drop easily at all. You cannot melee them to death. They will kill you in, like, 2 hits. Both times I've been like, oh crap! Oh fuck! And one of them was after looking at a corpse. It's like, oh, this looks like it's been chewed. And then it popped out of the ground. I'm like, oh, fuck. I guess I figured out what chewed on it. Yeah, I've been doing the DLC side stuff, which, Drew, I don't want to recommend you DLC, but there's some pretty neat stuff in it.
Yeah. I'll look
The
into
tomes,
it.
anyways. I don't know about the other stuff, but, like, the tomes is kind of like a thing that you can do kind of while you're wandering around, and, like, how you, like, when you find them, and, like, what they do to the environment around them is really neat. But anyways, I'm also playing the Sinking City, obviously, so I just figured I'd jump in on this conversation
So
instead of having it
there's
later.
a whole episode on the website of
I know.
Sinking City.
I
If you
just-
want to dig deeper.
I fully recommend that game. Yeah, I'm loving it. I've been playing it. I'm on the same mission as you, Drew. The same case, I guess. I mean, I finished that case before. I just don't remember what I ended up siding with. But yeah, there's some messed up people in this city.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, been playing that. I am playing for review Zero Time Dilemma, which is the third game in the Zero Escape trilogy. It's been out for a long time, but it's finally come to Xbox, and I'm playing the Xbox version of that. Obviously, I highly suggest it. I also highly suggest you play the first two games before you jump into that one, because it's
those should be on Game Pass, right? They're a collection.
The Nonary games are on Game Pass, so the first two games are on Game Pass. The Zero Time Dilemma is not on Game Pass.
Yeah, this one you have to buy, but the first two chapters you need to do before this one are on Game Pass. So.
Yes. And I highly suggest that series. It's absolutely fantastic. Really good visual novel mystery mixed with a lot of puzzles. Some of them are really clever. And the story's really good. It's weird. It's like a pseudo Saw-ish kind of story mixed in with razor blades. But so that's a reference to I think it's a College Humor video. I can't remember.
Something Drew found on Reddit.
Yeah, something I found a long time ago. Living with Jigsaw is the name of it. If you ever want to watch it, it's actually kind of funny. But yeah.
John Kramer is his name.
John Kramer.
Yes.
What, the guy?
Yeah, Jigsaw's name is John Kramer.
Like the character's name or the guy who plays him?
The guy who is the killer.
Okay.
That sets up the traps. His name is John Kramer.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's about time for my Saw rewatch. It's getting close to Halloween.
Ugh, man. You were...
I love those movies. I didn't care for the new one that much. What was it
Spiral?
called? Spiral?
Yeah.
But they're bringing it back with the old stories. So they're going back to Jigsaw.
So
Spiral.
Spiral wasn't about Jigsaw?
He's referenced in it, but it's not about him.
So it's a new serial killer?
Copycat, essentially. Yeah.
And it's
Gotcha.
and the actor's name is Tobin Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tobin Bell. You know him. You've seen him in a billion things.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I've seen the majority of those movies. But
There's there's 8 total right now, I think. 8 or 9.
But yeah, the I cannot suggest the Nonary games enough. Like that entire series is absolutely fantastic. Some of it's kind of hardcore, and they always have like a game to play that's in between all the puzzles. So like 999 is about everybody's got a number assigned to them, and they can only go through a numbered door if it equals. So if I have 5 and I got to go through the 9 door, I have to partner with somebody who equals 9 kind of thing. And then in like the second game, they basically played friend or foe, where in between puzzles, you're with a bunch of survivors and you have to choose to either be a friend and give each other a point, or if you choose to be a foe, you take all their points, and if both choose foe, you both lose points kind of thing. And whoever loses, if you lose all your points, you're dead. So they do a really good job of that. There's multiple like paths to go through that will lead to different endings. There's always a true path kind of thing. They do that a lot with like a lot of the Spike Chun soft games. But they're absolutely fantastic. Let's see here. What else? I'm reviewing another game. What is it? Oh, I can't talk about it yet.
I mean, you still haven't done Persona, but I forget what the third one was. The Circus one.
The Circus
one's out. Wait a minute. That's out this week.
That's out the
It is
9th,
out
though.
The 6th,
Oh, the
according to
6th.
what I've got.
Just a side note, there's 9 Saw movies.
It's a lot of movies.
That's a lot.
That's right, because there were 7, and then Jigsaw, and then Spiral.
Yeah, Saw 3D is number 7.
Yep.
Gotcha.
They got weird with the numbering. I'm
As
looking up the
all series
date.
do.
What is the embargo on this game?
For some
Sorry,
reason,
I
I
know
was
this-
thinking it was the 9th.
I'm scrolling through this. It's out on the 6th, but according to this press release, Tuesday, September 6th at 9 a.m. So you can talk about it.
Okay. So it's called Circus Electric.
Electric.
It is made by Zen Studios, the pinball makers. If you like Darkest Dungeon, you will really like this game. This game is essentially Darkest Dungeon with a coat of circus paint wrapped around it. You'll recruit people for your circus. You'll take them out into the city. So it takes place in like late 1800s, early 1900s London. And something at the circus created, people went nuts. So there was like an electrical shock of some sort. Give me 1 second. Move on to somebody else.
Okay. Well, I'll move on to Anthony then, because why not?
Okay, so I've been playing Sinking City, and start talking about that.
And that's it.
Yeah, back to Drew. I've also been playing, so I was trying to get Tinykin on my Xbox. But Xbox didn't want to cooperate with me last night and took forever to actually connect to the internet. Don't know why. Don't know why. So I'm like, okay. I like connected my PS4 up, and my PS4 is having issues connecting to the internet too. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm like, okay, PS4 finally loads up the store. I'm like, all right. So I like reset the Xbox. It just wasn't, and eventually it just worked. So I don't fucking know, but I did download it, but I didn't get to play it. Because
TCP
by the time,
IP settings.
dude, I looked at everything I could possibly do, and it's just like, it's one of those fine technologically incapable to fix this. Magic, boom, it works again. Fine, whatever. I'm not going to question it. You know, it's working again. Let's just not look at it funny and pretend everything's fine. So I did download it, and I will be playing it. But it's just for review. But it's just, I wanted to get more of that in. Just like I wanted to get in more Made in Abyss, which I didn't realize was an anime when I asked for it. That's not a bad thing. It's a weird thing where it's like, I saw a game, I'm like, that looks interesting, and so I asked you for it, and you're like, oh, we got a code, and like, cool. It's an anime and a manga that my friend has read, and Jay's watched the show, and it's like, wow, okay, this is a property that's actually semi-popular. Like, I've never heard of it, and with the name Made in Abyss, it's like, oh god, is it going to be a horny game? Like, is Made in Abyss a pun? And there might be a pun to it, but it has not shown its hand so far. It's not a horny game, that's for sure.
That's why you've never heard of it.
Yeah, the weebs online haven't promoted the shit out of it, saying, no, it's really good. No, it's not weird. She's not 12. She's actually a 1,000-year-old and a dragon inside the body of a 12-year-old. Yeah.
Anthony, feet. Anime feet.
Oh, Lord.
Dude, I mean... Also, I'm just going to say it, because I know we were talking about it a while back, but like on Twitter when I had that, sure I'll go into that rant while in a moment. What would you call, like, the opposite of a foot fetish? Like a foot aversion? Because whatever it is,
Sure.
That's what Rob Liefeld has. I don't know what happened in his life that was traumatic, but Rob Liefeld, I don't know if it's that he can't draw feet, but he refuses to. That's the lore I'm building in my head. That he refuses to draw feet because he's uncomfortable, because it's like a flashback to some time where like feet just caused a traumatic event. Kids laughed at his or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, can't deal with them anymore.
He, like, a bunch of people held him down and, like, stomped a mud hole in him, like, and he just he detests feet. Like, it's
somebody made him smell their stinky feet, and he's like,
I
can't draw them.
I didn't realize that until Ryan sent that link, and I was reading that stuff, and I was like, holy crap, this dude is awful.
He'll put geometric shapes that have no reason being there in the frame to hide the feet.
Oh man!
I'm sorry, I brought this up now.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Made in Abyss. The lore for those like myself that didn't know is that like an island is found. Now, I'm assuming this is supposed to be Earth, but forgive me if it's not. And that an island is found. It's been like never discovered, and there's a giant hole in the center of it. Like it goes way deeper than any other hole on the planet. And people go down in this hole because psychopaths have some interest in fucking dying in caves and shit. If you don't believe me, Nutty Putty Cave is the prime example of somebody just being like, I'm just gonna go and discover caves, and then get stuck in it and dies. That's a real life thing, everybody. You're welcome. And
somebody's Googling that right now, and they're pissed.
Yeah, so people go down, and then people come up, and they're like, look at all this stuff we found. By the way, most of your cave exploring adventures don't end like that. Just a spoiler, don't go into caves. It's a bad idea. Anyways, they come up, and they're like, look, we've got treasures. So then, because these are people, and people suck, everybody's like, we can make a bunch of money by selling this stuff. So they move into this crater, and they build cities along the rim of the crater. Really neat concept. The thing is, the further you go down, the better treasures you get, but the worse things will happen to you on the way up. They don't really go into detail, but they say if you go down to the very bottom and you come back up, you're dead. So I don't know.
It's got roguelike. Is it roguelike?
So no, it's a. I mean, if it is, it's not presented like that at all. The idea is that the story is that you're a orphan because your mother was one of the people that went down and didn't come back up, and so you're an orphan, and the orphanage owner sucks, and she's like, alright, well, you kids have to earn your keep. Down into the hole you go. I swear to God, this is the real thing. And
it's terrible.
Yeah, so you play as this girl, and you go down, and it's like you're getting some basic treasures, nothing special. And, in fact, the sickness that I was talking about actually has a gameplay mechanic. You go down, and like, you're climbing down cliffs and stuff. It's a 3D game. It's a 3D action-adventure game. And, it's, you climb down cliffs and stuff, but if you're like, I'm gonna go back up, the sickness does kick in. You do get negative side effects from going back up. And I'm like, that's...
So one could say you get down with the sickness.
No, you get up with the sickness.
In order for you to get down with the sickness, you must first get up.
Can you do the noise? Can you do the noise?
Wah! Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't fucking do my... Yeah.
My throat's messed up right now. I'm going to try. Hang on. Ooh, wah! I can't do it.
Nope, that was pretty close.
It was close, but you broke.
Yeah, so you go... fuck, that made me... Thanks, Ken. Yeah, so you fight some enemies. Early on, it's just kind of like animals that live on the cliffside. And you get some, like, items that you can use for healing and stuff. And it's a pretty interesting action-adventure game. You got your health, you got your stamina. You have to eat food to heal and keep your hunger meter up and stuff. But it's not a survival game. Like, I appreciate those mechanics when they're not being applied to just hunkering down in one spot. Because at some point in those games, the hunger system is pointless, if that makes sense. Like, at a certain point in Minecraft, when you just have when you figure out, like, if I lure a chicken into a hole and just have them, like, make eggs, and then just keep throwing those eggs against the wall and I get another chicken eventually. You just do that infinitely and you never have to worry about food again. So then food just becomes this thing that you have to do at times. This is like, no, you've swung your pickaxe enough. You're going to have to eat something because you're not going to be able to do as much damage. And it's super anime and stuff. And, but what interested me is it looked like, and this is going to sound like an insult, but it's more of a praise. It looks like a PS2 game. In the ways that, like, hey, like anime games on the PS2 for the most part looked really good still. Because it was a stylized thing that they could actually produce rather than realism, right? Most realism has aged poorly. I think the only thing I can look back to on the PS2 was like the Metal Gear Solid games. The realism in those games looked good, but everything else kind of looks super dated. So in the PS2 era, they were like willing to experiment. They were willing to be a little like, hey, this isn't the best action-adventure game, but this is a unique action-adventure game. And so all the little mechanics that they have here mixed with kind of how the world is built. Like, you don't just get to, like, walk down ramps, essentially. You actually get to climb up the stone wall, like, vertically, and you have to mine out the treasures in the wall. And some of them are in the wall, and the wall, you only have so much time to hold on to it, and, if you're wanting to climb down to certain spots, you have to climb down walls. I'm really impressed with it. And then, like, one of the next story beats is, like, one of the monsters from way deeper down comes up, and they're kind of terrifying. Like, they look very out of place, and I kind of love it. I haven't played a lot of it. It's one of those things where I'm like, I want to play more of that, but I also want to just get the Sinking City done for Thursday, and so I can, play my other stuff in between, because I kind of know my way through the Sinking City more than Made in Abyss. And by the way, the full title is Made in Abyss Binary Star Falling into Darkness.
Sure, of course it is.
That's
the fact
an anime
that you had
ass
to
title.
take a breath before you even began the title. You were like,
Dude, and all those anime titles, that are just like, there's so many that I'm just trying to like pull one out but they're all like way too much detail in the subtitle. Like, just you didn't have to. You've thrown in like way too many parts of a sentence in there to not actually mean anything.
yeah, my son.
Adverbs, nouns, adjectives, just throw them in any order you want. Like, alright.
Why not?
Then, what else have I played? Sorry, I'm just quickly going through the list of stuff that I've gone through. I've played a bit of a game called Goblin Sword. It's an old Switch title. And it's just a pretty basic action platformer. Like, you play as a knight, you swing a sword to attack, and you do it in levels, but like every level has like 2 treasures in it, and they're hidden really well. I was kind of impressed with how good it was. I'm just making sure there was nothing else. I don't think there was. Let me just check here. Sorry, I realize I'm really disorganized, but I just got back today from somewhere else. So, that looks like it's it for me. Unfortunately, I wanted to play Tinykin. It looks so good, but yeah, my stupid
it's so
internet.
good. It's so good. I can't even tell you. It's
so
it's not
good.
long either.
Oh, really? Oh, that's nice.
It's like probably like 6 hours.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Yep.
Because that's the one thing that I didn't like with Pikmin, is that, like, I am good with the 6-hour Pikmin game. Those games are not 6 hours.
No. Okay, Drew, you're back. Did you want to finish talking about Circus Electrique?
Yes. So, yeah, Circus Electrique. Basically, Darkest Dungeon. You can recruit people to join your circus. So, what I was saying was apparently what happened, when we turned on this machine for the circus, it created some kind of like hypnotizing thing that took place in the city. So now there's a whole bunch of like crazy people just running around. Like the bobbies have turned into like drones who want to just kill. So the only people that are surviving are the circus people. So the map is basically, instead of you going down into a dungeon, you're going through the streets of London. And each time you go to a section, you have a fight. And it plays out a lot like Darkest Dungeon, where you have characters who have like 6 abilities, some of which can affect, instead of like your sanity or your devotion or something like that, they affect like how into this battle are you. So you can make enemies run away from battle. You can also defeat them by just taking down their hit points. Same thing can happen to your characters. So keeping your characters happy, and in between there, you're still having to perform at the circus. So not only are you having to choose characters in your party to go out to investigate the streets of London, you also have to have characters that will perform that night at the circus. So there's this whole like synergizing like your strong men with your fire breathers. Some people like to, they're the opening act, and some people are the main, the main stage people. So you have to choose which ones you want to do. And if you do a good circus act, it brings up everybody's devotion. Same way with getting more materials, more money, that kind of thing. So you can then upgrade your circus even more. But everything that you can think of from Darkest Dungeon is here. So you can, if you have an injured, character, you can put them in the hospital or in the, like the infirmary kind of thing. And they'll heal overnight. Everything's done per night or per day kind of thing. But it has a nice little flair to it. There's a little bit more involved in regards to just a copy of Darkest Dungeon. Is this Darkest Dungeon? Yes. If somebody who's a big fan of that game sits down and plays this, they'll know exactly what they're getting into. The more you level up your circus and stuff like that, the more characters you can recruit. You get better level characters. There's a full-on RPG mechanic in this game. But it is one of those punishing games. So like, at the beginning, I was doing fine. I was like, oh man, this is way easier than Darkest Dungeon. No. I got the achievement for surviving a fight with just one character left. And so it definitely has that hardcore feeling. And once your characters are dead, they're gone. They're gone forever. So, but there is a tactic. So if you're in a battle and your character's about to die, you can tell them, run. Go back to the circus. Get out of here. That way they don't die. But it brings their devotion way down. And it's kind of a trade-off. But if you want to keep that character, say they're like a level 3 character, I don't want to lose my level 3 character. They're high powered. And it's a give and take kind of mechanic. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be writing my review this week. I think people who are fans of Darkest Dungeon will adore this game. And it has a lot. So there is a story in between. I know Darkest Dungeon kind of had one with, like reading the notes and the diary of the guy who used to have the mansion or the town around the mansion. In this one, they have full voice acting with like the ringmaster, excuse me, the ringmaster, and his, niece. She came into town right whenever the plague happened where everybody went nuts. So she's a journalist and she's trying to figure out what's going on in London, and she's trying to get information from the ringleader. And so it's a nice little story there that plays out in between certain chapters and stuff like that. All
You
well
didn't
voice acted.
Play their other RPG, right?
Who? Zen?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, I can't remember. I reviewed it. It was really good. Like, they do really good
called
work outside of
Operencia?
Operencia. Yeah. For some reason, Obra Dinn kept showing up. I'm like, that's not the right thing. That's the ship game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Operencia
I
had like
remember.
full
It's a weird
voice acting and was like a first-person dungeon crawler that then had turn-based battles. It was really well done.
Oh, yeah. I played that. That was Zen Studios?
Yeah. And they had another
Wow.
game too called something. It was on a boat, and it was like a roguelike on a boat.
on a boat.
Yeah, when they don't do pinball, like, they do some of the weirdest, like, not original titles, but, like, really good takes on genres.
So
They did a mini golf game. They did a
I don't know.
Kick Beat.
I don't remember.
Oh, they did
either of those.
Kickbeat?
Yeah, they did Kick Beat. The mini golf is just called Infinite Mini Golf. I remember playing it. It was okay.
Zen Studios does pretty good. And let's be honest here, they make some of the best...
Nautical.
They make
That's
some
the
of the
one.
best pinball tables out there.
Yeah, their pinball is very good.
I'm telling you, Wild West Rampage is one of the best pinball tables I've ever played, either virtually or in person. It's legit really good. This game's pretty good. Like, if you're into that kind of game, it can be punishing, but it can also be very rewarding. It's kind of hard, but it's really good. And I highly suggest it to people if you like that style of game. So, I got into the Darkest Dungeon for a little while, and then once I got the crap kicked out of me, I was like, I don't know if I can keep... I just lost all my best characters, you know. But, I don't know. With Circus Electrique, I like it.
I like how you always have to put a little accent spin
I was going to say.
whenever you say it.
Yeah, it's
It's
so
not,
fancy.
It's not Circus Electric. It's spelled differently.
Circus Electrique.
He putting some
This was-
respect on their name. That's what that is. That's you got to say it right. You know, they appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's legit. So if anybody out there is, wanting something like that, you've got a brand new game that's got it's got a few more bells and whistles to it than Darkest Dungeon. So, yeah, I'm playing that. And as far as my Persona review goes, dude, I've put like an hour and a half into that game and got the shit kicked out of me, and I really don't want to go back to it.
That should be the review right there. I put an hour and a half online. got
It
the
sounds
shit
like,
kicked
yeah, I
out
was
of
gonna
me.
say, it sounds like you're ready to write the review, Drew.
I mean,
7 out of 10.
I played that game previously on the PlayStation 3. I mean, it's the same game. The only reason why they've re-released it was because of the rollback. Are they still using GGPO or whatever? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, it should still be called GGPO, I believe.
And I'll say this. In the 10 matches that I played and got the crap kicked out of me, I experienced 0 lag. So there you go. There's
So the
my
rollback
review.
works. There you go.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Rolled back and whooped his ass.
That's
what
right.
What happened?
That's right. I was hoping for some lag. Maybe I could actually win a game, but I'm not good at those games. I've never been good at Arc System Works games. I never will.
Dude, Arc System Works games, what I think of those games is like a bunch of confusing mechanics that people know the names to that I can't even pronounce.
That is, man, like there is 10 times that. Like I did because I hadn't played it in a while. I did the tutorial for it, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to remember any of this.
Nope.
I'm not going to remember any of this.
Nope.
And
Or just auto combo to play the arcade. That's about it.
They have the auto combo, and it's to be fair, Persona 4 Ultimax Arena Ultimax is a fully fledged game. I mean, there's a full story mode. There's tons of stuff in there, and it's a good fighting game. It's just I suck at it. So, and unfortunately, now that my PlayStation Plus has expired, I can't play it online anymore. So,
I mean, it just sounds like you didn't need to anyway. You just get smoked.
I knew it was
Yeah.
going to happen. I don't even know why I jumped in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it's very humbling when I play those kind of games. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I did. So I'm an idiot. I fully subscribe to that notion. I had Breath of the Wild on Wii U, and I went ahead and just got it on Switch.
Why does that make you an idiot? It
Yeah,
runs better on the
I own it
Switch.
twice.
It's also a game that deserves to be owned twice.
It's also, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, currently right now, the only thing I have my Wii U for is for Xenoblade Chronicles X.
That we also know.
So, I don't know. I just went ahead. It was on sale And when the hell does Nintendo games ever go on sale?
About once a year.
Yeah, I picked it up for $30, and I said, you know what? Now's the time.
Maybe you should play it because it's really fucking good.
I can't even play the review games that I have.
That's true, but it is really good.
When am I going to play a 50 to 60 hour action RPG?
Jesus Christ. The fact that that's on sale for $30 and that game came out, my Nintendo games.
It was a launch game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the
It was
launch
on
game.
Wii U. Yeah, it was on Wii U.
Yeah.
They just get away with murder. Don't even just, whatever. Okay.
I mean, if their games sucked, then it wouldn't matter, but...
I
they
guess,
don't.
I guess that's the good way to justify it. The game is good, so, we'll still pay, an exorbitant price many years later because it's still good. I'll give it to them.
I mean, at least they ain't charging you $70 a game.
I was about to say, that's true. They're not charging $70.
Aside from Persona, after I got the bad taste out of my mouth from getting the crap kicked out of me, I went and played Multiverses, and slightly less got the crap kicked out of me.
Hey, in the news, baby, Gizmos are coming.
That's good. Is it Gizmo or Stripe?
It's both,
Both.
but Gizmo's coming first.
Yeah.
Wait, Gizmo's? Gizmo's also coming?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Morty's in it.
Yeah.
Who?
Morty.
He said,
Yeah, Morty's in it. I didn't like him.
Oh,
I tried
jeez,
him
Rick.
out.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, Rick. I'm gonna vamp while I'm playing. Keep talking. I'm gonna keep filling the void. I'm gonna keep...
They're not as annoying as you think in that game.
They're not.
Yeah,
he doesn't talk a whole lot, actually.
Thank God.
But when
Yeah.
he does, it's funny. Like, because I mean, it fits. It's like from a show or something. But I didn't like Morty. Like, I bought him, and I'm not good with him. But I see he's labeled like as a hard character anyway. Like,
Yeah, it's all about setting up with the grenades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard, but I have gravitated toward Velma.
If they-
I have been playing
I
Velma
love
But you
nonstop.
have.
Love Velma.
If
Her
they
and
did,
Batman are my mains.
I'd be very happy. I'd get into the game to play as the Bushland Adventures version of Morty.
There's probably costumes in the season pass, right?
There are costumes. Yeah.
Because that's one of my favorite
Costumes.
things to watch over and over again is Bush. Is it Bushland or Bush? I think it's Bush World Adventures, the Australian spin-off that they have one fucking short of on YouTube.
The only
Get in the car, Morty! Just wanna go with you!
Oh, it's the President Morty.
It's the
other
business
costume.
suit one. Yeah, he's wearing the business suit.
Yeah, the evil Morty that when he becomes president, it's that, like, he's wearing the black shirt and the pants and he's holding a drink. Like, it's that one. If you watch that show.
Oh, I just thought of
don't know if you
something. I was just thinking of something. Imagine having 4 Mortys fight each other.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Rick, jeez, Rick.
I've seen it.
Rick, oh, yeah.
When he first released, I was Velma versus 3 Mortys, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's just like any other game. When there's a new character, everybody's got to play it.
Yeah.
You know how it works.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. I absolutely adore Multiverses. That's like my new fighting game.
Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, while I was talking about Made in Abyss, of course there's a weight limit. Have fun taking your stuff out of the hole when there's a weight limit. Your character doesn't move slow. They move slow.
I don't understand why that's a mechanic in video games, period.
It makes
Right?
at least makes sense here because I'm literally excavating from a hole, right?
Yeah, but
Like-
I don't need a weight limit in any video game. I don't care. Well, I should be able to be carrying like 600 pounds of gold. It's a video game.
Yeah, but
Who cares?
I like it in this game. It's funny because like watching your character, who's like this little girl, have to carry like way too much weight. I'm like, all right, at least makes sense. Again, you just start passing by stuff that you earn from killing
You gotta do them
enemies.
pull-ups in like Metal Gear Solid 2.
Just-
build up your grip meter.
I was gonna say, you just start doing steroids.
It's a mini game.
Yeah.
That's what Duke Nukem does.
Fucking right. He takes pills though, you know.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
syringes for old Duke. Alright, anything else, Drew, before we move on?
I think we're good.
Alright, I'll move over to Terrence.
Okay, so let's see. So I played some more Saints Row. Finished up my review for that.
I want to like that game. I do, but like the missions are so repetitive.
Yup, that's where I landed. Like it just like as much as I wanted to love it, like it. It feels like they didn't really move the series like forward at all. Like it just everything feels so dated. Like even the graphics like are 360 era-esque. You know what I mean? Like it.
Yep.
I don't know. It just I wanted to love it, but I mean, hopefully they can make another one. I doubt it. I mean, because is this the next game that they made outside of Agents of Mayhem?
Yeah, this was the next game, and then they keep saying that there's a patch in the works, and it says it's live on, I think, PC and PlayStation, but my Xbox copy hasn't been updated since it launched, so...
Yeah, I haven't got an update on mine either. Okay, well, that's a shame. Saints Row was... it's a shame. like I said, and I think I put in my review, like, Johnny Gat deserved better. Like, oh, well.
At least he's not in it
right.
to be embarrassed.
It's true. Yeah, he avoided it. But yeah, so I finished up that. I played some more of, SD Gundam Battle Alliance. I gotta finish up the review for that. I jumped back into Witcher 3 in honor of Ryan's birthday, and then like
peer pressure
is what it was.
Say what it is.
It really was peer pressure. But then I ended up down a rabbit hole because I hadn't played the Hearts of Stone expansion, and I just got sucked in. It's so good.
That's the best. It's the best DLC.
That's what he said. Like I told him, I was like, well, I'm just going to play a couple missions because I got like 3 or 4 games I got to review. Man, I fucked around and was on there for like 4 hours. I was like, oh my god! Like,
yeah, that DLC is amazing. Like, I liked it better than Blood and Wine.
I did.
That's what he said. See,
Gunter O'Dim is one of the best video game villains I've ever seen.
Okay,
yeah, that whole DLC is just amazing. I loved it.
Yep, that's yeah. So I'm back into that. I played a game I'm reviewing. Well, I already wrote the review, but it's redacted. It comes out later. But I think that'll surprise and delight a lot of people when it drops. And
man, people got mad when I tweeted that last night, and they were like immediately saying that I haven't played it, but was that Thymeskia game that just came out?
Oh,
they were like, "This is not a true Souls game. It's more of a hack and slash." I was like, that wasn't the game I was talking about, but thanks for playing.
Right, like, chill out.
I know you're getting mad with your Souls gatekeeping, but that's not the game I was talking about.
Oh, man. Let me tell you, I'm having popcorn for the fall. I cannot wait to, man, I can't wait.
Guys, we all know the best Souls game is Immortal Unchained.
Oh, the absolute best. With the guns and shit.
Oh, yeah, son.
Oh,
terrible.
Oh, man.
My favorite part of Immortal Unchained, like truly my favorite part, was the fact that they're like, here's a character creation. Okay. All your characters are going to look like garbage. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Every single one.
Doesn't matter. Who cares? I'm just going to watch them die anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why it was like that. They were like, we don't need to put too much effort into it because, okay, they're going to get killed anyway. So it's whatever.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. Let's see, what else did I play? Oh, I played some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star. Damn, every anime game is a ridiculously long title. God, yeah.
Right?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R.
That's a short one.
That's a short one. What'd you say? The R is what?
What's it stand for?
I have no idea what the R like.
I don't either.
I don't know. But okay, so
ridiculous.
Yeah. So I like the anime. JoJo is a bizarre adventure, and it is batshit crazy, but it's good. And this game though, like, is a weird fighting game. Like, I don't like. It's not the usual kind of Street Fighter or even Mortal Kombat kind of inputs for combos, and then the combos aren't really traditional. Like, everybody has like attacks that they do in the show, and you somehow have to make that work with an auto combo. But it's weird, like, and I can't figure it out. But then,
dude, you can make a hobo attack somebody in a stage.
okay, I do like some of the stage stuff. I have not seen that one. That's
Yeah, there's a hobo, and if you trigger it, he'll bounce around the stage and try to hit people. Dude, in one of the stages, there's a horse carriage with 2 horses running through the stage.
that sounds right. Yeah, I mean, JoJo, that anime is crazy. Like, I like the anime. It is just, I need to watch. I think the second half of Star Ocean just dropped on Netflix, but they didn't really advertise it. Like, my son reminded me today. It was like, that came out, and I was like, man, they ain't even say nothing. But
Netflix don't give a shit. Like, I don't know if you saw my tweet about the Tekken anime. It got buried. I had to search for it, and it's so generic that the episodes are just called S1E1, S1E2.
I forgot that even came out. That's another one that didn't even. I want to see that. Damn. Yeah, they don't care.
It came out. It came out, and it literally is buried in the menus. I had to dig for it.
Here's a terrible title for here we are not recording. Oh no, I am. Okay. Phew. Okay. I just this is the joys of recording locally. I thought I didn't increase my thing. Berserk, Sword of Berserk, Guts Rage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Why? It's not. It's Berserk is in there twice.
Why not?
Why?
Yep. Why not?
Fuck you. That's why.
Exactly.
It's fucking anime.
Right. Because fuck it, he really is Berserk. We really want you to know that this anime is going to be Berserk. We want you to know that.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't anime titles, bruh. Okay, but then the last game, which I'll have a review soon for this, I played is Disney Dreamlight Valley.
I don't even. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't even know what this is.
Okay, well, listen, man. Listen, sit back. I'm going to tell you all about it. So it's essentially, like, for real, it's like Animal Crossing meets Disney, right?
Oh, it's this game.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Okay,
So
I do know what this is then.
It is, and I'll tell you what, I did not realize this going into it, but it's supposed to be, I guess it's going to be a free-to-play game when it comes out.
No, it's $50.
Well, see, okay, but, and cause when I was playing it, cause some of the mechanics and stuff, I was like, this is weird, so I did some digging. The early access is what is launching, now, and you buy the founder pack to get into the game and stuff, and it's got all the features and all this other stuff, but it's going to fully launch in 2023, at which time it's going to be a free-to-play game. So you can buy into it early now, but when it actually comes out, it's going to be free-to-play, and
That's fucking stupid.
I 100% agree, and when you are playing the game, some of those free-to-play mechanics, you can see how that stuff is going to happen, because there isn't any timers for anything. So in Animal Crossing, you have to you go to bed and the next day happens. It is synced up to your real world time. So if you play it Disney's the Dreamlight Valley at 7 p.m. your time, it's going to be 7 p.m. in the game, right? So when you go to, because you can plant crops in Stardew Valley. It's kind of like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing, because you can plant crops, you can harvest crops, you can mine minerals and stuff. And the whole thing around this is that friendship is magic, right? And I know that's actually, I think, the My Little Ponies tagline, but essentially that's what this game is about. You need to bring everybody back to the valley and stop the curse that has inhabited this area. And your character that you create, you come in here and you make your own character.
Do you look like a way too realistic person?
Yes, actually.
Oh,
yes. In comparison, to everybody else, you look, because the first person you meet is Merlin from Sword in the Stone, and he looks, like Merlin in Sword in the Stone. No,
I have a better question. Do you look like one of the NPCs from New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey?
What? Close. Yes. So you're taller than they are, but you're
the reverse. It's the reverse scenario where you're the boring one.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, But so you can't, like, you unlock clothes and stuff. Like, everything you do unlocks something and you level up, just like those free to play games, right? So there's a constant drip of stuff, whereas you unlock in clothes, customize, for your house, so you can redo the walls, furniture, stuff like that. Even the whole town, like the valley itself, you can redo. You can pick up a house and move it. You can plant a tree. Like, you can design this to be however you want it to be. It's not a bad game. There's no combat that I have experienced, and I've played it for a long time. Lord. I still want to get a little bit further just to be sure, but I think it's one of those games where it's just supposed to be like a chill experience. So after you get done, beating your head in an Elden Ring, or getting beat up in the anime fighting game like Drew, he can come to
give
Dreamlight
a little more
Valley.
money to Disney.
Exactly. You can give some more money to Disney. Come to
Well,
Dreamlight Valley.
it is coming to Game Pass for the standard edition, which, by the way, there's three versions. There's a standard
already
edition,
hate
which
this
is
then.
which is in Game Pass. There is the deluxe edition, which is $50, and then there's the ultimate edition, which is $70.
Yeah. Yep. And it is, you're right, I forgot about that. It is coming to Game Pass for, but just you get the standard edition one for that.
Yeah, the fancy. You don't get no fancy shit.
No, and it's just purely cosmetic, right? And so since it's not even a multiplayer game, I'm looking at it like, well, why do I care? I guess just for peace of mind that my person is dressed up like Prince Charming. It ain't like I can go show it off to somebody, like you typically do in online stuff. But if you care about that type of thing, it's, but I can see them.
I mean, we're all just playing with dolls. We're all just playing dress up with dolls. That's what we're doing.
Well, you're absolutely right. That's what it is. I can see them probably adding some sort of multiplayer thing in later, but it'll probably be kind of like Animal Crossing has, where you can visit other people's towns, and trade items and stuff, because it does have that kind of system. Like Scrooge McDuck is the Tom Nook of the town, so he handles all your building and stuff like that, and he is a hustler charging all the gold coins just like Tom Nook. But yeah, I kind of feel like they'll have it where people can come into your town and you can trade out different stuff. Cause like the store that he runs, the items switch out like every day. So he has a different set. So if you go to a different town, they probably be selling something different. So.
You know what
yeah.
the difference between Tom Nook and Scrooge McDuck is, though?
Tom Nook
doesn't
boss.
take real money.
Nice.
You can't hand real money to Tom Nook.
Motherfucker, Scrooge McDuck ain't gonna be getting none of that generic ass shit. That's Scrooge McDuck.
Right.
Scrooge McDuck is like, please enter a valid credit card.
That's right.
Oh man, the only way you'd get me to play this, especially knowing that it's free to play, is if you told me that in some part the developers have hidden some anti-Disney stuff where it's like, and look at all the kids making the Disney merchandise. Isn't this the happiest place on earth?
That's pretty dark.
That's super dark. I can't confirm though that there's nothing like that I've seen.
Then I am not interested.
Anthony wants that overseas simulator.
I want that. Let's confront Disney for what they are.
Oh man!
I want that do they have the statue of Walt?
No. Actually, no, they don't have that.
So you know that statue of Walt pointing with two fingers?
Yes, because we went to Disneyland with the kids.
You know why he's pointing with two fingers?
Oh, this is going to be good.
God.
Why?
No, I'm just curious. Do you know why? Like, it's not offensive.
No,
it's because he smokes. He smoked, so when he pointed, he had two fingers with the smoke between his fingers, and they've removed the smoke, the cigarette, from every statue.
Oh, you should replace it with a J.
Wow.
I mean, to be fair, I think he may have died of lung cancer, if I'm correct. I think he died of cancer of some sort.
He ain't dead. He's frozen.
It's in yeah. But it's always funny that they're like, yeah, it's points because it's non-offensive. No, he points with two fingers because he had a cigarette in between.
That's funny. They Disneyfied the statue,
and they Disneyfied the statue of Disney. Crazy. It's like, oh!
That's crazy. But and I'm finished after this. It's like you said, it's not going to be for everybody. And I think once people realize, because it's not. I don't think it's common knowledge that it's free to play. Like I said, I had to do some digging to even find out, because all I found was the editions that you have to pay for. But I think once people actually play it, they might be disappointed that because it's definitely a free to play game. There's a battle pass in there that unlocks purely cosmetic stuff.
Battle
Again,
pass.
Yeah, I was going to say a battle pass for a peaceful
Harvesting game.
Yep,
I only want a battle pass if I can fight Scrooge McDuck 1-on-1.
which would be fun, but you can't, and I kept hoping that there was some sort of combat, because different things happen that move because there's always something to do, right? Each person has a quest. Like, I've run into Moana has like a whole friendship quest. Then there's like the main quest line where you have to unlock different areas, and everything you do gives you this dreamlike currency that you have to go unlock. So, like, harvest 3 vegetables. Here's 100 of this currency. So everything gives you this currency that you have to use that opens up the other areas. Kind of like in.
Are you finding it too slow to get dream currency? Please insert credit card.
I can see that probably will happen. Yes. Those features aren't live here. You can buy their Moonstone. Like, it's not for sale yet. I imagine once it releases it will be, but you can buy the Moonstone currency, which I'm sure will help you progress the little battle pass and probably help with getting more dreamlike currency, because you have to get that to unlock the other areas. So to unlock the beach area, to unlock the forest area, where you'll end up needing resources to progress everybody's story mission. So it's a whole circle. It's kind of like that thing South Park did about the freemium gaming. It's that whole circle of life that this is going to be.
Circle of cash.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not going to be for everybody, and but we'll see.
Appreciate you taking the bullet.
Hey, no problem. It's definitely not what I thought it was going to be. But I will say this, and maybe it's the fact that I just went to, this past summer to Disney with the kids and stuff. I was digging it, just the whole like chill vibe of it, right? So it's just you sitting back and you just watering some plants, talking. Let me go holler at Scrooge McDuck. Oh, what's Mickey up to? Oh man, I'm going to Wally's World, and that was kind of the draw. Like, I was hyped that I unlocked where Ursula was, and I was like, oh man, I'm about to go see Ursula.
These are my favorite Disney characters, i.e., the Disney characters, not the Marvel and Star Wars characters.
Right, and see, and that's the other thing, and I'll let you finish. I don't know if they're going to put the Disney and Marvel in here. I don't see any place for them yet, but with this being a free-to-play game, I'm going to imagine that at some point they'll find an entrance point.
I hope they don't.
There's a bunch of realms. It's kind of like Mario 64, where you go into the castle and there's all those paintings.
I thought you were going to say Kingdom Hearts.
No, not like Kingdom Hearts. No. Where you go into the castle and there's a bunch of like doors that are like all blocked off, and they lead to different realms. So one of them led to Moana's realm. One of them led to Wally's realm. So you go in there and there's like a little, like Moana's was a little island area where her and Maui was, and then you recruit them to come back to the village where you put up a house for them, and then they're in the village. So I think they could probably add the Star Wars and Marvel people like that, because they have those different realm stuff, but I don't, right now it's only
Darth
Disney
Vader
people.
Dances.
Oh God.
Fucking A, dude.
Probably will.
I was very disappointed, and I realized we live in a different time, so I wasn't surprised. But after watching Moana, which is like the last big Disney movie I think I watched that I gave a shit about, all I could think of was like, man, if this was like PS2 age, the game would have either been like complete dog shit, or they would have done like a big adventure game like Wind Waker or something. And I kind of wish they'd make a Wind Waker-like game with the Moana. It's not like it wouldn't work. Because even if you look at something like, I don't know, like how I gotta give DreamWorks credit. I know they probably do some freemium stuff on phones, but like, all their console games are like a buy it once, don't pay anymore. Their Dragons game, not the new one. The new one looked kind of rough, but like, I like the Dawn of Riders, How to Train Your Dragon game, because it is like a really decent Zelda clone. And it's just like, I wish Disney did more stuff like that, because like, I love Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. Like, that was like one of the first games I played growing up, because my dad had Genesis and Master System stuff, and it was a cartoon, right? Like, it looked like Mickey Mouse at the time.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where it's like, it always depresses me. And not surprises me, but depresses me that like Disney just refuses to like really, Because even Avengers was a money-making scheme. Like, it's just, you have all the money in the world. You do not need more.
I agree.
Just make a game and then take my money.
I want Avengers to be good. Oh, also, the Dreamlight Valley, it's going to be on mobile when it launches next year. So it's going to be on phones as well. So, like, you set up an account when you first link into it or load into it so that you can play on different devices and stuff. So it's going to be a mobile game too. And again, I think a lot of that's going to turn people off because it's not what they're really talking about. They're framing it to be something else. But, but that's all I got.
All right, then. Well, I'll be sure to steer clear of Scrooge McDuck. Sounds like a bastard. All right. I'll go through this stuff. So I was checking out the Game Pass stuff this week. I checked out Commandos 3, remembered what kind of game it was, and immediately proceeded to delete it because that is not my jam. Immortality. Am I missing something with this game? I've never played one of his games before. So I downloaded this. I don't know if anybody's ever played one of these games, but it's basically just like a bunch of clips of movies, and you can like scrub through them. But I couldn't figure out what else to do.
Is this like Her Story kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Oh, yeah, okay. So usually, like, there's a... Like, you're looking... Oh, man, yeah.
There's a search feature in the...
Yeah. So you'd, like, listen to... In Her Story, yeah, you listen to what they were saying, and you'd, like, kind of clue in on key phrases, and then you'd, like, want to search that in the database. So I don't know if it works similar to that.
It was weird because the options it gave me was just like, watch the video, you can rewind, you can fast forward, you can zoom in and click on a character, and it'll switch to another clip. And then I didn't know what else to do. This game also has a lot of nudity in it. Jesus Christ.
Really?
Don't play it around your children.
That's kind of weird, because, like, Her Story was, like, pretty basic. Not criticizing it, but it's like, it's a woman sitting there in a chair talking.
It was an interrogation.
Yeah.
These are all clips from movies, and I probably scrubbed through, like, 10 clips, and, like, 4 of them had nudity. And I was like, well, damn. Okay. So, I don't know. I think I'm just missing something. I downloaded Starlit Kart Racing because it was free, and I deleted Starlit Kart Racing because it's free. It's not very good. I don't know what to say. Like, when you play it, you see all of the free-to-play trappings, but, like, playing it itself is just not fun. Like, it doesn't feel good. Like, I've played kart racers that are bad that felt better than this. I don't know what it was. Just didn't feel right. I'll go through the indie games real quick. Rick Henderson, which is a weird name for a video game, but it's just a shooter, a horizontal space shooter. It's actually not bad. There's another NASA game. So, Drew, I know you like your achievements. This thing's easy. It's 25 minutes, and it's basically just an interactive going through a space station.
Okay.
There's 2 of these games on Xbox from NASA, and both of them are free, and both of them have 1,000 achievement points.
Oh.
So, this one's called Space Science Investigations. Make sure you look that up so you can get your daily achievement.
I could do that.
Onsen Master is a... what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you're running this shop, and you have to do all these different things in a shop. So it wasn't my jam, so I kind of backed off of that one. Hobo Tough Life is literally what it says. You're a hobo. It's in first person. You have to go around, talk to people, try to get money, and it's got survival mechanics.
That sounds horrible.
Hey, man, you got a spare dime? Get a job. All right.
Well, it's not an English game. So it's like, I want to say it's like...
German? Russian, I should say.
Yeah, Eastern Europe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Does everybody call you a blight?
Eastern Europe, like Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. They're all speaking in Russian or Ukrainian, I can't tell. We talked about JoJo. Super Sunny Island. It's just a left to right shooter where you're
I think I bought that on Switch.
It's fine.
It was like $4. I bought that and give me a second here. I bought that because I was like, oh, I like the art style and I like penguins. And then I bought a game called Troop. I mean, are you surprised I like penguins?
No, because I have to hear about that game all the time, right?
I didn't bring it up. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm letting it go.
And then I bought a game called Troop because it said it was a Metroidvania, but it was like $1. It seemed pretty decent art style. It said it did some different stuff, and you play as a clown with a sword.
Why not?
Saving a circus. So I was like, all right, for $1,
You'd buy
I'll
that,
buy that for $1.
You'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, there it is.
We're old.
Yeah, we are old. Most of the other stuff we've already talked about. I played some JoJo. I played Tinykin. Both of those I really enjoy.
Can we... No, I'm going to roll back there for a second. Okay, yeah. RoboCop has a fucking Criterion version. We're not old. We're classic. Thank you.
Oh, is that it?
I just watched
I like
my
that.
4K of RoboCop the other day.
That movie
movie-
is amazing.
I didn't
It
know
is
it was
amazing.
out in
And
4K.
unfortunately-
I need to get that.
Yeah, it's out in 4K.
You know what's
Unfortunately,
really-
still
What's
too
really good
on
is
the nose.
the parody movie.
They would the dick shooting sequence is one of
Yeah.
the greatest things ever. Oh my god. It just turns into like the Sound of Music, but he's got guns in his hands. And he's blowing
watch-
dick off.
I've
There's
been
that one
doing-
guy who shows up. He's like, "Do it, do it."
Yeah, I've been doing Stephen King movies leading
Oh, I'm
into
sorry.
the scary season, and
They're
I
not
watched
good.
It. I love
Oh,
it.
it is good. But
So
like
I watched it chapter 1, and I'd never seen chapter 2.
Oh,
so
the
I
new
watched
one.
That.
I have not watched the new one at all.
The new one's
unfortunately.
actually pretty decent.
It's really good. Like, I watched the first one. I'd seen it when it came out, but I never saw chapter 2. And I watched chapter 2 last night, and there's a scene where, I'm not going to spoil anything, but like this monster vomits on this dude, and it starts playing that, like this really 80s love song. It just was cracking me up.
I'm just trying to think of good Stephen King films and like
I'll
both
tell you
versions
that-
of it.
I like a lot of them. so I'm not gonna say-
Kubrick's The Shining, not The Shining.
I
Pet
still
Cemetery
hold it.
1.
Whoa,
the original.
Wait a minute. You're forgetting Maximum fucking Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive
Maximum Overdrive is
correct, and then Carrie and Christine. That's about it.
I started with Graveyard Shift, which is not a great movie, but it was still fun to watch. And then I did The Shining, followed by Dr. Sleep, because I'd never seen Dr. Sleep, which is pretty good.
Never seen Dr.
Because
Sleep
it's,
either.
It wasn't
you know
bad.
why Dr. Sleep does something that I didn't think was possible, and it is able to be a sequel to, well, it's able to do the book, but also be a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's movie, to some extent, which is weird because, like, that is not canon, and Dr. Sleep is a direct sequel to The Shining, but Stephen King's version. So,
Yeah.
like,
He historically did not like
Kubrick's version.
Kubrick's version.
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I like both of them. I like The Shining, and I think the next thing I'm going to watch is Cujo, just because it's old.
Oh.
We'll see. I haven't seen it in a very long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah,
that
well.
in forever. I wonder how that's going to hold up.
It ain't.
I don't know. Hey, you can't tell me that The Running Man was bad, nor Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
nor
I
The Green
forgot the
Mile.
running. Yeah,
I
but
would never
horror
tell you that
movies
any
are
of those
bad.
films were bad.
But the
Those were
horror
awesome.
movies are bad.
The Running Man's not even
Shawshank-
anything close to what the actual book was
No,
about.
No,
well,
it
I
is not.
understand that, but it's still based on his novel. It's kind of like Stand By Me, short story, but
Sure.
2-hour movie. You know,
Don't watch The Dark Tower, man.
I've seen it. I didn't care for it.
I'm
You know,
now
And
going
I've never
to-
read the books.
I
so-
never
God,
read
the
the
books are
book.
so good. They're so
Because
good.
but I wanted to, like, I was hoping that franchise, like, took off because I'm interested in the concept, like, and how I guess the Dark Man runs through, like, The Stand and all of those other Stephen King. I didn't realize all his stuff was connected like that.
Every
But he's
single
everything.
thing he's ever done. is connected.
No, not every single
He's
thing.
so
There's like a
word-heavy.
there's a specific set of novels. There's some that exist outside of that.
There's also
universe.
most of them are just like one-off references. Like something somebody finds in a room was something from Misery or something like that.
I'm looking. Oh, Misery's another good one.
Misery's a great one.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of good ones.
There's a lot more bad ones than good ones.
I mean, yeah, the Tommy Knockers isn't really good.
I'm looking at the top 30.
I remember I saw that movie.
Dreamcatcher's good. I don't care what anybody says.
No, it's not. That
Dreamcatcher is not a good. Oh man, that movie.
I like that movie.
Everybody in that movie is stupid.
Yeah,
it's got Brody in it though.
I'm looking at.
He's an idiot in it.
I'm looking at the.
Gotta have that toothpick.
I'm looking at the best movies as ranked by Rolling Stone. So take that as you will. And fuck it, we're doing this, guys. Number 30 is The Night Flyer. Number 29.
I've not seen that.
Number 29 is The Mangler. 28 is Dreamcatcher, which should tell you where the Mangler and the other movies stand, because
I like that
Dreamcatcher should be.
I like that movie.
I love psychedelic stuff. 1408 sucks.
Never seen it.
It's like, ooh, isn't it weird? I mean, I guess, but like that's not a hard thing. Being weird with a purpose is better. And I did not like that movie. Maximum Overdrive is 26, not a horror movie.
No.
This doesn't count. I don't know why it's there. I wouldn't even put it on the list. The Lawnmower Man's terrible. That has nothing to do with Stephen King's book.
That's a bad movie.
Yeah.
The Lawnmower Man.
Hearts in Atlantis, not a horror movie. Thinner.
I like Thinner. Sue me again.
Thinner is entertaining. Thinner was entertaining.
Fucking Secret Window, no.
Nah.
Needful Things.
I feel like I've seen that, but I don't remember it.
Green Mile.
Nazi, I think.
Yes, it is the Nazi one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Green Mile, not a horror movie.
No.
Silver
movie,
Bullet. It's a great
Bullet's
movie,
good.
but
Silver Bullet's good.
Gary Busey.
Fucking Cujo, no. That movie, and you know what? I'll give Cujo credit. It may have been good at the time, but by the time I watched it, it was not good. The Running Man, again, not a horror movie. I also forgot that was him because he wrote it under a pseudonym. Pet Sematary, I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie ever, but there's some fucked up shit in it. There's some fucked up shit in that movie.
He likes that Eddie Munster gets killed in it.
Which one?
This is the original.
Okay. Because the new one is okay, and I don't care. I like 2, because Clancy Brown with his fucking neck cut.
No.
Yeah, but Clancy Brown is great. But I could watch Clancy Brown in Bad Boys and watch his face get caved in by Sean Penn. Watching him walk around zombified, just staring at everything in Pet Sematary 2 is fantastic. Cat's Eye is 15.
That's pretty fun.
That's a pretty good anthology one.
Yeah.
Firestarter.
I haven't seen the new one. I haven't seen the new one yet.
I didn't even know there was a new one. Oh, that's right. The new one has Zac Efron as the dad, which is weird to think about. I don't even know this was a thing. Apt Pupil.
Oh gosh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
Sir Ian McKellen.
Too, right? Yeah.
Sir Ian McKellen is the Nazi in that.
Yeah.
I have to watch that. I don't know that one.
Is that Brad Renfro as well?
I swear to God, if you have called, it is. Where did you pull that from, Drew?
Because I've seen that movie like 3 times.
Jesus,
Drew's got some weird pulls.
Yeah, Drew's watched that 3 times. How many times have you watched Master of Disguise?
Master of Disguise at least 15 times.
Jesus Christ.
The ultimate horror movie.
The Dark Half.
I don't even know that one.
I haven't seen
something
that.
about an unborn twin. Dolores Claiborne. Yeah, I don't think that's a horror movie. Creepshow is
Creepshow is great. It's
Creepshow's good, but it's not. Else. It is not a horror movie. It's a comedy.
No, it's a goofy horror movie.
Yeah.
Sure. The Mist is good.
Yes, it is.
That's a hardcore movie at the end.
Christine is cheesy nowadays. The concept is still great. Kara getting possessed.
Yeah.
Children of the Corn, sure.
It's a horrible movie.
Yeah.
Horrible movie, good concept. Again, won't say it's a good movie, but it's like, you could do a good movie off of it. So it's like I'm not writing that one off because some of them are just like you can't do a movie based off of this idea. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption is not a horror movie. The Shining from 1980 is Stephen King's version of The Shining is unwatchable. Stand By Me is not a horror movie. The Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone's decent. It's
decent. It's decent.
Is that
I give that.
Christopher Walken?
It was
Is that
Christopher
that one?
Walken.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
And Misery is terrifying.
Yes.
It's so good.
And they put Carrie as number 1. And I'd put Misery at the top.
Yeah.
Because Kathy Bates is terrifying. And, like, she doesn't even go as hardcore. I mean, I don't know. Getting your foot chopped off and then cauterized, or having your foot hobbled. That sequence, to this day, makes me, like, terrified.
Yep.
Foot injuries.
I'm trying to imagine that there's... He didn't do... Sometimes They Come Back.
But there's, like, those were the good ones. Like, there's so many that are bad. And, like, they put the Lawnmower Man up there.
Yeah,
in, like,
for
the
real.
20s.
Like, I thought Salem's Lot was okay.
There was a lot of bad ones, that's what I'm saying.
Salem's Lot was pretty good, but then again, Netflix did a better version of it called Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass is excellent, and I'm super pissed they canceled it.
Oh, that was supposed to be there was supposed to be a second season of that?
I mean, you can leave it where it is, but don't tell me you didn't want to know what happened once they got there. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Area 81. What was that called?
No.
Archive 81.
Archive 81 is fantastic.
Sorry, I was thinking Midnight Mass, that's a good ending. That should just be done.
Yeah, that's done.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But Archive 81, I'm pissed that they canceled because now I'll never know what happened over there.
Yeah. That's so good.
They do that with
Anyway.
so much stuff, though. But yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, move on. Sorry.
No, I'm
looking
totally down
for
this.
the one
I
I'm
like
thinking
Stephen
of.
King movies. I don't care what anybody says.
What's
they're
the
fun.
one that was like a TV movie? The Langoliers.
The Langoliers.
Oh, yeah.
There's one that me and my wife watched a couple years ago. Netflix did. It was about a cornfield. What was the name of that?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Was it like a theater movie?
It had the dude Patrick. What's his name? He's in all of James Wan's movies. Oh, he played Owlman in Watchmen.
Oh wow, yeah, he's a great actor. I just don't
he
remember
is.
his name.
Patrick something. Shit.
Wasn't it like a time...
Wilson? Patrick Wilson? Is
In
that
the
his
Tall
name?
Grass?
In the Tall Grass. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Wait, didn't he do the one about JFK as well? That's a TV series, but I heard it was pretty good.
I don't know what that one is.
I'm starting to realize,
1964 or
like,
something like that.
I'm looking
Oh,
as I'm
yeah,
looking at the
yeah.
movies, I'm like, oh, is this bad or good? And it's like the less he has to do with the production, the better the movie is.
Except for Maximum Overdrive, where he was high on coke the whole time.
Dude, it is great, and he's in it.
Maximum Overdrive is great because it's like, here's an AC/DC soundtrack, here's a bunch of cars killing people. All right,
Yeah.
not
I don't see
not
anything
the
wrong with
heaviest of plots, and I'm okay with that.
Did he do The People Under the Stairs?
No, that's Wes Craven.
Was that Wes Craven? Okay.
Yeah, that's Wes Craven.
That movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Me too.
It's so stupid if you watch it now, though.
It's
Yeah,
dumb.
it
It is
is.
so dumb. It is so dumb.
It's
But
funny.
I was like, when I was a kid, that scared the crap out of me.
Dude, when I was a kid, I was terrified of Chucky. And you go back and watch that movie.
Oh, we
Like, for
did.
real.
That's
We did
another one.
last year for Halloween. It's garbage.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I was scared of the
garbage.
Green Goblin truck in Maximum Overdrive as a kid.
Yeah, right?
Like, I was a chicken as a kid.
Okay, but that's the original. That's the original Green Goblin design, and that's always been terrifying. Somebody made like a real when they were trying to do the Spider-Man movie, like the Tobey Maguire one.
Mm-hmm.
They made that as a mask, and it's terrifying.
Wow.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was
have to.
scared as a kid.
So,
No.
so at work, we have a truck driver. His company is called Maximum Overdrive, and he has a giant decal of that face on his truck.
Nice.
Jesus Christ,
I
that's
love him.
terrifying.
He's great.
That's crazy.
Yep.
All right. No, I think that's about it for me.
Just if you're looking to get into the mood, because we just talked about horror movies, and I know it's not Stephen King, but like I was thinking about it the other day because the version of Blade Runner that more people enjoy, the director's cut, is 30 years old this week.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And Rutger Hauer is one of the scariest villains in the original Hitcher.
The Hitcher is so good.
Oh,
Do
man,
not
you
watch
got
a
that on our
sequel.
list.
Do not watch a remake. Just watch Rutger Hauer terrorize.
So
Someone.
we've made a list, right? And we're doing this, like we do it every year starting in like September, October, and we do horror movies or thrillers. And I put The Hitcher on there. My wife's never seen that. We watched recently, and I mentioned it on Twitter. Everybody should see this if you've never seen it before. Breakdown.
Oh,
That is
that,
a
yep. I
fantastic-
have to watch
That's
that
a
still.
really
I've heard
good
about
movie.
that.
It's a really good movie.
Man, Kurt Russell is phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah.
And it has one of the best endings ever.
I love the ending of The Hitcher, and I won't spoil it for anyone. Just watch that movie.
Yeah.
And then they tried to do a sequel with Busey's son there, whose name I can't remember.
Jake.
Busey?
Jake Busey.
If you
Playing
if you
the
want,
son of Rutger Hauer, and you're like, ugh.
so
And
another
then they tried to remake
something-
it, and it sucked too because it went gory, and it's like that's not the point of this.
Something with Jake Busey that's good, and it's good for the horror season. Is what's it called? Oh no!
Listen, Jake Busey's not a bad actor. It's not Jake Busey's fault that movie's
No,
terrible.
I know, but you kicked it in my head because we watched it last year, and my wife loved it. She said it was probably her favorite movie we watched during the horror thing. It was the comedy, but made by Peter Jackson.
Oh, Dead Alive.
The Frighteners.
Frighteners,
The Frighteners. The Frighteners.
Oh,
is
yeah.
Right,
That's
Dead
a
Alive was
good
his original.
movie. Yeah, The Frighteners
Yeah,
is awesome.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I own that on Blu-ray because it was like $8, and I'm like, $8? Yeah, I'll buy that.
that movie, and that's still
Um,
good. Like today, like I haven't seen that in a while. Like
You're gonna
for a
have to
couple
send me
years.
your list, Drew.
Oh, I'll send you my list. I got a pretty good list.
Has she ever seen the movie Zodiac?
No.
Have you seen the movie Zodiac?
Yes.
That's got one of the most terrifying sequences in any movie I've ever watched.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
The sequence, which, by the way, every time I can't help but notice it now that somebody told me, the sequence where they're in the basement, which is the terrifying moment, the guy who's showing him the posters is the guy who voiced Roger Rabbit.
Charles Fleischer.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wow.
So, and he's menacing as all.
So
He's a creepy dude, truly.
But in that sequence, it's like, oh my god. And
So the-
Gyllenhaal's just, like, I can feel the fear, right? That fucking, I'm sorry, I love thrillers, and I love, like, realistic horror movies.
yeah,
Slasher stuff has never been my thing.
Three things I want to mention. The first one is two modern, I say quote modern horror movies, because I can't really get into modern horror movies, but there's two that I absolutely adored. One was It Follows.
I need
Which
to
I
watch
thought-
that.
Oh, it's so good. It's weird. Like like I've never seen a concept like that before. And then the other one is
Don't Breathe.
God, no, the A24 movie.
That's very vague, because they do all those weird fucking movies.
I know. What's it called? Hereditary.
Oh, okay.
Hereditary. The last 20 minutes of Hereditary is some hardcore shit, dude. My wife had to leave the room.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's
Alright.
it's creepy. It's messed up. It's really friggin' weird. Like that. I was like, man, this is one of the best horror movies I ever saw.
Hell.
It really is.
Right, Terrence?
The lead up to the last 20 minutes of that movie is fantastic.
Sorry, everybody. Terrence was reacting to the very realistic Green Goblin original design for the Spider-Man movie, which they decided to scrap.
Thank
And
God.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, and I'm surprised Raimi was okay with it, because it feels like something Raimi would be like, no, it's got to be weird.
Yeah,
And
that
I was
is
gonna
creepy and
say,
scary.
I got to come back to this.
Right.
This is the thing I see on the picture.
Like, he didn't give no warning. Like I'm
Nope.
listening to Drew talk about Hereditary, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to check this out. And I look over, I'm like, who? Like he just snuck that ugly up there.
Dude, Hereditary is a messed up movie.
Hereditary's hardcore. It really is.
I wish I liked more horror movies. The ones I do are very odd. That's the reason why I like Saw 2 is okay, and those movies
I like
fell
the
off
Saw
those movies.
I love them.
I like
the first movie is so brilliant.
Yep.
Oh, the first movie is
my
the best
favorite.
by far.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
second
it
one's
is.
okay. Third one I don't remember, but I remember not liking it.
Well,
The
do you know
fourth
what
one
it
is
is?
okay.
You know
Because
what
the
it
fourth
is,
one is the
right?
one where they're going room from room, right? Room to room as a group, right? But every
Yeah.
time somebody dies, yeah.
So the thing about those movies is, and he does this all the time, James Wan will do a really good idea, and then he'll move on from it, and people will take it and run with it.
Yeah.
Like he did the first Saw movie. He did, what was it, the first Conjuring movie. Like, everything he does is really good, and then people just kind of run with it. So,
Yeah.
That's a shame, because, like, Saw 1 is a masterpiece, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm looking at... I
that
just typed in...
twist is crazy.
I
Yep.
just typed in horror movies, and I'm looking through to see if, like, have I watched any of this stuff? 28 Days Later.
That's a great movie.
That's
a
good.
good
The alternate and the original idea for the ending is one of the best things ever, and hearing the director say to you, we could not do this, we think you're too smart for this, and we weren't going to hand you shit and just be like, deal with it, is brutal, and I recommend everybody who likes that movie specifically to search out the alternate ending. It's not filmed, it's all just like the storyboards, and it is the director going through explaining what was going to happen. And it's such a brilliant story, but as they were writing it, they realized that's not going to work. And it's like kind of sad, but I still think that movie's awesome. The Descent I only watched once, and it was terrifying.
Oh, that movie is one of the most terrifying things I've ever watched.
The Thing is one of my favorite
It's a
movies of all
classic.
time.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
I will stand by the prequel. I know most people don't like that, but I love the prequel as much. Like, not as much as the original, but like I think that movie is way better than it has any right to be. I just wish they
that
didn't call it The Thing.
Oh, the one that is like the newer.
Yeah, where it's
That's
actually
just
a
called
prequel.
The Thing.
But it's
Yeah.
if you watch it, it's actually a prequel.
It's a prequel. Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it. I like that movie. It was funny.
It's way better than it
It's
has
like what
any right
happened
to
to
be.
the first crew that was there.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
exactly.
Evil Dead movies before they, like, even Evil Dead 2, but the first Evil Dead movie's creepy, and so is the remake.
The remake is
I haven't
so
seen the
freaking
remake.
good. Oh my god, it's so good. The last 20 minutes of that movie, once again, the last 20 minutes of the movie is, I'm just screaming, yes, the entire time. It's so awesome.
Wow. Okay.
Oh god, The Fly.
That
Oh,
movie
wow.
is-
Jeff Goldblum?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
traumatizing movie.
That is.
and then
yeah,
I'm gonna-
man.
It's not on there, but I'm gonna throw it in. Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's
Oh,
Ladder's
that's
weird.
another one that's weird.
Yeah, but dude, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's a fucking weird, fucking body horror sort of thing. It's not like The Fly
Cronenberg.
body horror. Grundle
I can't
Fly.
believe y'all ain't brought up Event Horizon. That movie.
I haven't
don't
watched
like
it
it.
I
yet.
was going
I need to watch it.
That movie.
I'm sorry. I don't like that movie.
Oh, I love that
It's
movie.
so wild. Like oh my god, yeah, that movie was wild. Captain Miller, we got some problems here. Like, oh my
I mean,
god.
you got freaking Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence
hamming that movie
Fishburne's
up.
response
So good.
of like shit's going down, and like Lawrence Fishburne just turns off the audio and just
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like,
like-
we got some problems
Yeah.
here. It just like that movie. Oh, that movie's so good. Like, it,
We're leaving.
we're leaving. That's the line. I can't remember. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I haven't seen that
We're
whole
leaving.
movie, but I've seen that sequence. We're leaving.
Yep.
Right.
And I
just
didn't like it.
just before we finish off, 28 Days Later, the same director did a movie called Sunshine. It's
I've seen
not really a horror movie, but
yeah,
it's
it's Cillian Murphy, and they're going to the sun.
to
'cause the
they
sun
have
is dying.
to. The sun is dying, so they're sending a payload into the sun, And it's one of those, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And there's some sequences in that movie that are, if not horror, they're thriller.
I had to screen that movie when I worked at the theater. Okay, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
The sequence where they get on the other ship and they find the other crew is so messed up.
Yeah.
And the captain of the other ship is like, They do the space jump from one to the other, and it's just like, holy shit! I love that movie.
There's
I really
two
like that
movies.
director's name. I can't remember right now.
Before we end, I do want to bring up these two movies. One of them is on our list to watch. It's another thriller. It's called Nick of Time, starring Johnny Depp. That is a fantastic thriller.
I think I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And then I'm going to bring this up, and I don't think anybody's ever watched it except for me. I thought it was fantastic. It's one of Paul Walker's last movies. It was called Running Scared.
I was gonna say, is it? I was hoping you'd be like joking and being like, it's the one where he turns into a dinosaur.
No, not Tammy and the T-Rex.
Tammy and the T-Rex. I was like, it's not Debbie and the dinosaur. It's not Debbie and the dinosaur.
No. Running Scared is a weird, strange movie. It starts off almost like a mobster thriller kind of movie, but then it shifts halfway through, and it's legit like a horror movie seen through the eyes of a child. It's legit good. It's crazy. That movie is nuts.
Well, I'm gonna throw one more in, since we're gonna circle back to Stephen King. If you've never seen it, Tales from the Dark Side.
That's good.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
The shit in that is disturbing.
Very much so.
And it's especially the one about the gargoyle. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one definitely scared me. And as a youth, oh my god, yeah.
Anyway, okay, we'll go back to video games now. We should watch some of these movies and do some discussion about them as the Halloween season is upon us.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
All right, we're continuing with the new releases. Swing of things, it's going. So we got a lot of new releases. So Biomutant is getting its free next-gen upgrade on Tuesday. A couple games we talked about. Circus Electrique, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Temtem, Train Sim World 3, Kaichu, the Kaiju Dating Sim, because we need one of those. Justice Sucks, Steel Rising, White Day, A Labyrinth Named School, whatever that is. Arcadegeddon, I'm assuming that's a box copy or something. Cat Maze, and then on Friday, NBA 2K23. And then switch over to PS5. Mostly the same stuff, but we're also getting a limited edition of Fist, Forged, and Shadow Torch. Life in Willowdale Farm Adventures. Alice Gear Aegis CX Concerto of Simulatrix. Say that 3 times fast. I bet that's an anime. What do you want to bet?
Well, sorry, what was the title again? I spaced out.
Alice Gear Aegis CS Concerto of Simulatrix.
See, if it's not an anime, it's anime. Oh God,
adjacent.
Yeah. Oh no! I mean, yes, it's anime styled. Alice Gear Aegis is a Japanese mobile game developed by Pyramid and published by Colopal. There's a stunning lack of vowels in this. Colopl.
I would say Colopal. Yeah.
And there is an anime. And there's an anime series. All right, cool. So that is not where it stemmed from, but they do have an anime. So,
Of course they do.
What is this coming out on?
PS5.
PS5. Let me see here. Let me see what type of game it is. CS.
We gotta know.
It's a console adaptation. Oh God. Terrence, I'm sorry. but it's an anime. Yeah, Jesus Christ! Looking at the title, it's even got the little squiggly lines before the Concerto
Lord.
Simulatrix. It is a 3v3 action combat game. It's mechs, I think.
Of course.
There's a bunch of anime girls. I'm
Of course.
looking at photos, trying to figure out. Oh, but then they have like mech suit armor thing. So you can still see the girls. Of course you have to be able to, right? Because
I mean,
you
if
wouldn't
you
want
couldn't, then there would be no point to it.
Right, so... let me know what you think, Terrence.
Oh boy.
Not his type of mechs, I know.
Right.
Did you say right?
PS4, Xbox One, a lot of the same stuff, but we're also getting Game Type DX, which I talked about a couple weeks ago, Tower Princess, and then switch over to PS4.
Game Type DX always just makes me sad because I keep thinking it's like Game Center.
Oh, no. Unfortunately, it's not. It's still really good. You should play it, but it's not that. Classic Racers Elite, Mozart Requiem, the Tomorrow Children Phoenix Edition.
Still can't believe that game's coming back, but alright.
Yep. Arcade Archives, Champion Wrestler, and Deer Simulator, your average everyday deer game, finally coming to PS4. If you were so inclined to be waiting on that title. Nintendo Switch. It's time for Guess the Horny Game.
All of them.
Well, not this first one, I hope, because it's Kids Zoo Puzzle.
I really hope that's not horny. Lord.
Yeah,
What is it called? What is it called? Sorry?
Kids Zoo Puzzle. I'm assuming everything you need to know about the game is in the name.
In the title. Yeah, it's right there.
Hold on now. Let me just make sure it's actually...
I swear to God, if
No.
it's not, I'm gonna lose my
Oh,
mind.
it's really for kids.
That's probably why it's in the title.
I will say this as a compliment because it really doesn't interest me otherwise. The art is really good, like really good cartoon animals.
Pretty much everything we've talked about so far is making its way over to Switch, as well as Block'em, BPM Bullets Per Minute, Pandaty, Pandaty, Pandaty. I don't know how you say that.
Pan.
Daty.
So,
Pandaty.
the horny game sounds like what?
We will find out. Is it
this could
Panda?
I mean, it's
It's a panda.
Pandaty.
It's a panda. We're good. We're safe.
Okay. This next game,
It's a really miserable looking side scroller. I have nothing nice to say about this. Clearly.
motherfucking Radical Rex.
Oh yeah, that game looks good.
You've never played Radical Rex?
I have not.
Is that not
played
the game?
Radical Rex.
Hold on. Am I not thinking of the? Hold on.
Radical Rex was on Genesis, Sega CD.
Oh, this is not the game I thought. There's what is it called? There's a 3D platformer coming out that has Rad in the name, Rad Venture or something like that. Sorry, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh no, this is a classics game.
Oh yeah, the skateboarding dinosaur.
Hell yeah, dude!
I don't think I have played this.
Nice.
I've seen the artwork.
It's so good, so good. It's one of my favorite Sega CD games.
Just to backtrack on Pandaty. There is a frog that looks like a boss fight, and the frog is saying, "My sweetness will cost you your life."
Damn, that's dark.
Wow.
I'm assuming that's a toad-licking joke.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. All right, moving on. Skycadia, The Gallery, The Hand of Glory. That could totally be a horny game. White
Yeah.
Day, A Labyrinth Named School, Wind of Shuriken, Zumba Blitz, Haiku the Robot, Oxide Room 104, To Leave, and Splatoon 3 is out on Friday.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize Splatoon came out this week.
Neither
Yep.
did I. Man, this time is just moving. I didn't realize basketball was out Friday.
Yep, basketball's out on Friday.
Sheesh.
It's that time of year, man. Every week's going to be something. And then you'll get your God of War in November, your Game of the Year. right?
Not mine, but might be one of y'all.
I'm keeping an open mind.
I mean,
I know it's going to be good.
I'm gonna play it. Yeah, I know it'll be good. Like, but
Guys.
I don't know if it'll be game of the. Like, I'm not super hyped like everybody else is. But like, I'm gonna check it out.
Sonic Frontiers comes out this year. It's going to be a hard
snap.
stretch.
Elden Ring already came out this year.
Yeah, well, does it have a hedgehog that moves really fast? No. Oh.
By the way, Anthony, for the first time in 6 years, I can finally do it.
Do what?
You know what my game of the year is going to be?
Oh my!
Oh
God.
no!
For real?
Oh no! No, I forgot it was coming out. Oh, god damn it!
Do you even doubt it? Like,
Oh,
truly,
no,
do you even doubt
I
it?
don't. I know it's just.
I do. What if there's something that you don't like about? Like, I mean, well, you played.
He's
I've
gonna
already played it.
cave.
Yeah, you already played
He's
it.
gonna.
That's right. Never mind.
He's gonna cave and be like, "But it's actually okay, guys." And then.
Yeah,
I love it. I played it.
I know
love
you
it.
do. I'm not accepting of this.
that's fine.
All right, let's do some news. There's a new model of the PlayStation 5 coming soon. It's already out in Australia. It's
Yeah, I've heard.
quieter.
Was it from you guys last week where I heard that they might be cutting costs?
Well, I
Like,
mean,
they
yeah, we
raised the
talked about it
cost.
last week.
Yeah, where it's lighter.
Yes, it is lighter,
Yeah.
for sure.
What did you remove?
Well, they added $50.
Well, that I know for a fact. So what did you remove for that $50?
Probably some cooling stuff that they over-engineered that thing to make it sure that it didn't sound like the PS4. Because if you remember what the PS4 sounded like,
Yes,
My PS4 does not have that issue.
mine did.
that's because you don't play a lot of those Last of Us games. So
For good reason, they're not fun. Whoa,
snap. Okay. There's a new Mafia game in development at Hangar 13.
how do you feel about this, Ken?
I feel like it's never going to come out.
I think it's going to come out and be mediocre. And I want it to be good. The
Yeah.
team at Hangar 13 hasn't done anything that's bad.
No,
They
I
just-
liked
I don't-
Mafia 3. It was
I like
fine.
the Mafia remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fine.
It's just learn from your mistakes, guys.
Sony is also quietly becoming Microsoft. They acquired Savage Game Studios, which if you don't know what they do mobile games.
Fun. That means nothing to me still.
So
Well,
Sony knows that streaming and mobile games are where the money's at.
yeah,
So
they quietly
They're
make
quietly.
those purchases so as to not piss off their rabid fan base and think that they're a traitor because Microsoft took flack for buying mobile whatever. The whole game, it's so stupid. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you're right. And if you remember a while back, they bought Nixies for PC ports because they also
yep.
know
Yeah.
more places, more money.
Yep.
Here's a rumor that was floating around. Microsoft may be adding a new batch of backwards compatibility games once the Activision deal goes through because of licensing. So, I was so hoping we would talk about this. Nintendo Direct rumors. It's coming September. From what I hear, the 12th. That Metroid Prime remake and some Zelda HD remasters are supposed to be there. Anthony, how do you feel about that?
Uh-huh. Look, at this point, it's just one of those things where it's like, guys, if you... And I'm not trying to criticize even at this point. I'm just tired of it. It's like, you're not willing this into existence. You're just, at this point, like, if no remake ever existed for anything, then, like, maybe I'd be on board. But it's like, we see remakes of games all the time. From Nintendo, even. So it's like, yeah, they're probably... The game that sold really well, they're gonna remake that to make even more money off of it? No way. But, like, you're not... This isn't a stretch, and this isn't, like, a surprise to me. Like, of course they're gonna want to sell you on it and get more money.
Question is when is it coming?
Right, but my thing is, like, it hasn't come. You've been saying it since the beginning of the fucking console launch. And it's like, okay, you've been wrong this many times now. Well, you know, the thing's changing my insider source. Like, horseshit. You were wrong. And it's like, to a point, it's like, it starts with being like okay, this person sucks and you need to stop listening to them, so I blame them, but then I also blame everybody who, like, listens to them and thinks they're telling the truth or have some insider knowledge and don't. So.
There's everybody on Twitter's an insider. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, well, I left Twitter for
every
a
single
reason.
person. Yeah.
Not for that, mind you. The reason was that Twitter gave me a slap on the wrist for it was clearly a joke. It didn't have profanity and it didn't have any threats in it. And they're like, "Hey man, you should delete that tweet and admit you're wrong." And I'm like, I did it by accident because I should have fought back against it. And then I'm like, why do I have this? And just deleted it. And then I got rid of my Facebook too. And it's been like a week and a half, I think.
You going through withdrawals, or are you good?
It's weird. I will say that. It's weird looking at your phone, especially when you're, like, used to checking things.
Yeah.
It's weird going to your phone and realizing I have nothing to check. Which, at first, it's like, it's weird because it's part of your thing. But I've grown into, like, it's weird because, like, what the fuck was I doing?
Right. I got you. I can see it.
What was I getting from those sites? Like, why was I going there and constantly, like, let's be honest, constantly refreshing to see if something had changed? Like, why am I so invested in what everybody else is doing? And, like, you know, it's a weird thing to kind of realize, I guess. I know Ken doesn't have Facebook. He has Twitter.
Nope.
But, like, it's just a very odd thing to kind of get used to. Is like, oh yeah, like, and I didn't, like, tell anybody other than you guys that I was leaving because I was just done with it. And I told you after the fact. But it's just, yeah, like, what was I was wasting that time, so what am I going to fill that time with now? And it's like, well, I don't know, like, was I wasting time? Or was I just trying to fill in space so I wasn't thinking? Like, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how it affected me. But I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, it made me miserable. No, I could do a good job of that on my own.
Lord.
It wasn't the internet's fault for being miserable, but it definitely allowed that to see itself out in other ways. So it's just a very weird thing. But yeah, like, that's, you know, it's stuff like this, though, where it's like you see the rumors start spinning and it's like, what are we doing? We're adults. Like, if this was a weird kids forum, which I can only have, like, the creepiest thoughts about, like, oh god, there's, you know, most of those people are adults. Like, kids on the playground having these discussions, okay, sure, whatever. But, like, plastic box fights and, like, rumor mills that seem unrealistic by this point. Like, I did that when I was 10. Just made up bullshit, you know? Did you see the next Zelda game coming out? Like, no, I didn't.
I've got a bunch more. I got a bunch more for you.
Are these at least more, like, legit?
Well, to start, also, it's all Konami.
No,
so
okay, well, this is probably all real then, because, like, I imagine their security is like Swiss cheese.
Well, give me a second. So we'll start off with facts. Konami has confirmed that at TGS they will be announcing a returning franchise that is beloved across the globe, but it is not Castlevania, Silent Hill, or Metal Gear Solid. Now,
Pro Evolution Soccer is coming back, boys.
That wouldn't.
Remember, they dropped the title.
Yeah, they did. Also, combined with this is that VGC is reporting that Castlevania, Silent Hill, and Metal Gear are all set to be revived, and there is a Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3 remaster currently in development that will be out sooner than you think. That's all I've got for the Konami camp.
I must just say this. They should remake Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 from the NES. They didn't need to redo the Solid series. We've already done that. Like, redo the one that no one has played. I played them because they're good.
Redo.
But, like,
Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 as 3D games.
Yeah.
Well, they
the-
need to port. They need to port 4.
They really do. There's only one place you can play that game.
I forgot about that. 4 is still.
Yeah, the only place you can play 4 is on a PS3 locally.
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
That's it. That is literally the only place. There's no PC port. The PS Now streaming version is gone now, so you can't even play that.
I did not realize that. Damn. Okay. Yeah. Then yeah, they do need to port 4. Okay.
Yep. NetEase has purchased Quantic Dream.
That came out of
So
left
they-
field.
Enjoy your purchase, NetEase.
Yeah, they got a little David Cage.
I need
thought
more
Sony
emotion.
then had bought them.
No, they were just publishing their games.
They were just really high partnered until like they realized like this is kind of a waste of money.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like Detroit bombed.
Even though it's their best game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean, but like at that point, so let's go through Omicron.
I like
If
Omicron.
you like David Bowie being in video games and being weird, Omicron, and that's more of a game, I think, than some of the later stuff. Then Indigo Prophecy / Fahrenheit
I like that.
starts off great and ends so fucking terribly.
It did, but I like that game.
Heavy Rain, which is got some neat stuff to it. And then Beyond Two Souls is where you start to see the real fall off in audience.
I
that
didn't
game
play
is
that
not
one.
good.
I have
that
it
game
for
is not
free.
good.
That's the one with the girl from what's
Well-
the actress's name?
It's Elliot Page.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, the actor. Yeah,
And Willem Dafoe, yeah.
Yeah.
Creepy Willem Dafoe.
yeah.
Yeah.
God.
And then they do Detroit, and like if you go into a Walmart right now for $30, you can get Beyond Two Souls, Detroit, and Heavy Rain for PS4 for like $30. Maybe
Can
even
we
20
just-
in the States.
Can we just say that if Willem Dafoe is involved with your video game, you should not play it?
Even 12 minutes?
I mean,
He wasn't in 12 minutes?
Oh,
Do
Yes, he was.
do
And that's
not.
why we're telling you not to play it.
12 minutes.
It's leaving
It's
Game
the
Pass.
worst fucking game. Yeah, don't play it.
It's the best
Goodbye,
thing to happen
good
to Game
riddance.
Pass since it started, was 12 minutes leaving.
Damn.
The best. I'm
Dude,
so
we did that
glad
for
that
Phoenix
game was
Down.
Game Pass. I'm so glad that game was in Game Pass, so I did not have to pay to
Yeah,
play
I
it.
played it for like 5 minutes. Like I played around, I got killed or whatever, and I was like, "Huh, well that was neat." And I just uninstalled
You
it. Like I
can't-
wasn't really.
I don't mean this to be like reductive to the game, but you can't push the couch in front of the door.
Yeah. There's certain things that would make sense in that game that you just can't do.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was
that's
something.
Bad game. So you
Let's move on to one of the few positive news stories I have. Joe and Mac are returning this winter.
Who?
Did you really just ask who Joe and Mac were?
Oh, Joe
It
and
sounded
Mac.
like it sounded like John Mack.
John Mack. I was like,
sorry.
who the hell's John Mack?
No, Joe and
John Mack's returning. He's the football player.
It does sound like a football player.
I mean, why not?
I didn't even hear about
He's
Joe
the-
and Mac. That's actually dope.
He's the-
those games
Is
are
it?
fire.
Is this like a remake or?
Yeah, it's like a new game, and it
Oh.
kind of, not quite, but it kind of looks like the Wonder Boy remake. You know how slick art style, real cartoony looking? Looks
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. All right, I'm
They're
down.
excuse me. They're caveman ninjas.
That's true. Joe and Mac are caveman
I mean,
ninjas.
they are,
This is
yeah.
facts.
Right.
The only sad part about Konami is that they own all the Hudson stuff. I want a new Bomberman Land. I want a new Bomberman 64 type game, and I would really like Bonk. Come
Bonk
back.
is never coming back.
Oh, he's such a good character design.
Oh, that game is, dude. You want to trip? Get high and play Bonk.
I don't, do you even have to really get high?
Oh, it makes
Just
it
get
better.
a little tired. And
It makes it better. Trust me. All right. I guess this is pseudo positive. This is the last quote unquote positive. The new Assassin's Creed has been named. It's called Mirage. We will see it this week. Which, by the way, there's a ton of events this week. There is the Disney stuff. There is
We
TPS,
have bought your parents Walt Disney.
Ubisoft Forward is this week, where we will see Assassin's Creed Mirage. NIS America is doing a show this week. There'll be a lot of news this week.
NIS America is publishing a game this year that I have interest in, and let me tell you, I never remember the name. Like,
There's
there's
interest in it, but you don't remember the name of it.
dude, it's just they're so bad at naming shit, and I don't even know if this is one that they're.
Long title with.
It's not necessarily a long title, but it's like it's a. So it reminds me of. See, this is how I'm picking games apparently right now. It reminds me of Way of the Samurai. So they have a new Yomawari game, which I keep forgetting about, called Lost in the Dark. But the game is called Kamiwaza, Way of the Thief.
Okay.
And it looks really good. It looks like it's like a weird stealth game instead of like Way of the Samurai, which is like an action game. So it has like that same like, this is like feudal Japan. Sort of. It's kind of goofy. Watch it be terrible. Watch this be another disaster report. Which
Wow.
they have another one coming out, which I call for review just so I can bash another disaster report game.
Did you say there's an Ubisoft Forward?
Yeah. So
okay.
like Saturday, I think, and that's where they're going to show the new Assassin's Creed.
Okay, I hope we see Splinter Cell. That would be
No.
really cool and nostalgic.
No.
If we could. No. Okay.
No.
Well, that's fine. It's
No.
fine.
Sam
They've
Fisher's
abandoned
dead.
that.
At this
Sam
point,
Fisher's
yeah.
dead.
Sam Fisher is dead. Like,
Sam
God
Fisher is dead.
dang it, man.
All right. Everything else I got's depressing. So let's
What
just get
was
into
the
it.
quickly? What was the name of what was the game where they replaced him and then realized that was a bad mistake?
They replaced the voice actor in Blacklist.
Blacklist.
And I'm going to be
Blacklist.
honest with you, Blacklist is a fucking phenomenal game.
It is.
But they replaced him, and then I think they released one game after, right?
Mm-mm.
no Blacklist.
Blacklist
They
was
had
the last
him.
one?
They had him voice Splinter Cell's appearance in the Division,
And Ghost Recon,
Ghost Recon.
Oh, and Ghost
yeah.
Recon, yeah, because he's Sam.
where he
Fisher
talks about how Solid Snake isn't around anymore,
Yes.
Yeah,
which was like wow.
That
But
was
neither
funny.
is Sam Fisher, so
right. I think that was the. But go ahead. Sorry, go to the more depressing news that Sam Fisher's not coming back. Whatever.
We're going to start with Halo Infinite.
Oh,
just
Lord.
Halo Infinite in general. And it's a better game than it has rights to be based off of their previous ones, but
So they put out their roadmap for content, and let's remember when this game came out.
not last year, the year before.
December 2021, right?
Yeah, it was, yeah,
I think
last
so,
year.
yeah.
What was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
It feels like decades ago at this point.
Battle Pass Season 3 starts on March 7th of 2023.
Alright.
Season which one?
Co-op. Season 3.
So each season's a year?
God,
Yeah, pretty
okay.
much. Co-op has been delayed to November.
Online co-op?
Online co-op is all you get because split screen has been canceled.
Why?
Jeez.
Split screen. Local split screen is dead.
I'm sorry.
Every
if
every
three-
Halo has had that.
If 343 is still making Halo games after this one, Microsoft does not know what they're doing.
No. Halo Infinitely in development is doing like they are. Wow.
Yeah.
Like they've all had split screen, haven't they? Like I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
5 didn't. 5 didn't.
5 was bad.
5 I didn't
5
even
was a
finish.
bad game.
Okay, that would be Cause
Yeah,
I
5
played
was
them
a
all in-
very
okay.
bad game.
Yeah, I didn't
Did,
finish.
did
5.
ODST have split screen?
Yep.
Yeah, because me and my friend, I remember we played that.
Remember when Halo was good? It was called Bungie.
Right, man.
And now Bungie
Yeah.
makes a product I don't even like.
Yep.
Say what
I'm
you want
shit
about
on-
Destiny. It's a
Not to
good
shit-
playing game.
Not to I'm not shitting on Destiny. It's just not the type of game I play.
Yeah, I agree.
So like being actively involved with something as much as Destiny kind of requires you to. I'm sorry, like I'm here to play a game, not get another job.
Right, not to have a lifestyle, and that's what because like the shooting mechanics and stuff in that game is sweet. Of course it is because it's made by Bungie. Like, But yeah, I don't, the dedication that one requires to get raid ready and then to do all of that stuff. And then if you miss time something, people get pissed at you like, nigga, I'm just trying to play a game. Like, y'all do it a lot. Like, we just try to relax. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was dedicated to that game for like 2 years.
Oh yeah, you went hard. My son was like that. Like, he went hard for two.
Dave, from what I understand, Dave still plays it.
He still
does.
He still plays. Yeah, he still plays, which is crazy, but I can't say anything.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
No.
Game of the year.
Yeah, again, the sequel.
Well, I'll tell you this. Overwatch multiplayer is 10 times the multiplayer of Destiny is.
That's not a hard accomplishment.
No. Destiny's multiplayer has always been garbage.
Alright, the next story normally would be somewhat exciting because you're getting free video games, but games with gold for September have been announced, and this is the last month you will be getting Xbox 360 games.
I'm sure we got
just no.
The games with gold for September for Xbox One, you get Gods Will Fall, which is okay.
I don't remember which one. Is that the weird sort of Darkest Dungeon sort of game?
No, this is like an isometric. If I
This is
remember
the one
correctly.
This is the one I thought was Darkest Dungeon because of the. Nope, this is not what I thought it was at all. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Double Kick Heroes, which is okay.
Yeah, it's a rhythm game.
Yeah,
It's got a good soundtrack though.
Thrillville for the original Xbox.
What?
And finally, your last Xbox 360 game, at least it's good, it's Portal 2.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a great game actually. Portal 2 is good, but man, that's it though. Wow,
that's it.
So
and
have they only 2 games next month?
2 games.
Man,
Games with gold is a waste of time and money at this point.
that sounds
Speaking
like
of
that. You're referencing that sign, aren't you?
Oh no! What are you talking about?
So apparently WWE's happening right now, and somebody's holding up a sign that says Shenmue 3 is a waste of time and money.
Well, that's a smart person, but that's not me.
Love that person. I just want to say that Games with Gold is dead.
It absolutely is, and they should get rid of it, truly, because now here's the thing, getting rid of it would get rid of the monthly PR that Xbox gives away shitty video games.
Yeah.
So, just get rid of it, because just put all that money into Game Pass and just call Game Pass your thing.
Yep.
But as I was saying, Drew, speaking of wasting your money, let's talk about PlayStation Plus.
Oh, okay.
Now, PlayStation Plus...
Oh, God.
Essential.
Terrence, which one's the one that you paid for again? Because I don't remember the fucking names of these.
The Ultimate
PlayStation
PP. I got the PP version.
PlayStation Plus Essential is the standard PlayStation
Old
Plus.
school PlayStation Plus, and then Extra is the
Second tier.
second tier, and then Premium is the third tier. So Essential and Extra continue to be good. So here are your Essential games. You get Need for Speed Heat.
That's a good game.
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus.
That's a fighting game.
Yep. And Toem, which is really good. If you've never played it, you should, but it's only PS5.
Toem is a black and white cartooning game. Everything is two-dimensional, but it's in a 3D space.
Yep.
And
you
it's
take
all about
pictures.
taking photographs.
Yep.
Okay.
It's horribly cute. Like, I can't believe how fucking cute all the characters are.
Yeah, it's a great game. You should definitely play it if you have a PS5.
Gotcha.
All right. Extra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but the first game on this list is one of the funniest fucking things I'm going to tell you. Deathloop is coming to PlayStation Plus Extra before it even comes out on Xbox, and it's an Xbox game.
Nice.
Oh my god! Like, how?
It didn't start out that way.
But still, it's an Xbox-owned studio.
How long has that been out now?
The year anniversary comes up on September 17th, so,
Are we thinking it's going to drop on Game Pass then, too?
what if, now stay with me here, what if Sony had the agreement for the year and then they get to put it on their service and Microsoft still can't have it?
I can see that happening.
How embarrassing is it that Microsoft put out no first-party games this year and they can't even talk about a game they own coming to their own platform?
Yeah, that's...
Wait, Microsoft is not putting out a first-party game this year?
Not that I remember.
I don't
What
think...
about Forza?
Forza was last year.
No, I thought the actual Forza, isn't that coming out this year?
Next year.
It's next
Next
year.
year.
Yep.
And it's Forza.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah, they don't
T
have
sound
any
in
first part. They don't have any
scrub.
first part. That's crazy.
You get Penultimate. I forgot about Penultimate and Grounded 1.0. Those are your first-party games.
Wow.
Take those and shove them up your ass.
I'm sorry, but Xbox done fucked up this year. Like, if you don't deliver next year...
Let me see here.
like,
I'm
it's
looking.
just-
I'm looking.
They're just over.
Oh,
They
wow.
could still
Okay.
put,
Guys.
Deathloop on Game Pass like the same day it goes on the PlayStation service. Maybe they just can't advertise it until the day of. Maybe. I don't know. Like, if that's the year... I don't know.
I mean, this is worse than Microsoft
Guys.
putting MLB The Show on Game Pass. Like, this
Yeah,
is worse
it
because
is, yeah.
they can't even say the name. How many Xbox shows have been since Deathloop came out, and they've never even been able to mention the game?
Guys, you forget about the first big Xbox published game as Dusk Falls.
You're right, I forgot about it the day it came out.
Dag, I did too. Shoot. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Because clearly, that's... Like, I hear people on podcasts being like, Sony doesn't have a PS5 game this year except for Last of Us 2. I was like,
Guys,
but-
Crossfire X?
Okay,
They didn't publish
no.
that.
They
they didn't publish that.
and that game, no.
It was
Yeah.
clearly a joke, guys.
Don't talk about that game. It's terrible. All right, the rest of your extra lineup, or is that what it's called? Extra? I've already
Yeah.
forgot the names of these.
It's
It's
extra.
terrible.
It's
extra. It's extra.
Assassin's Creed Origins. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on Game Pass now.
Watch Dogs 2. This game's fine. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Spiritfarer Farewell Edition.
That's good.
That's a fantastic
Chicken-
game.
Yeah.
Chicory, A Colorful Tale.
I don't know about that.
Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 5. That's a title for you.
What the heck? Right.
Is that an anime game?
Yeah.
Chicory
Motorcycle
is cute.
game.
Chicory, if you have the opportunity to try Chicory at least, I would try it. It's a well done indie game. It feels like Toem's partner almost in a different way. Very different gameplay, but it's got the same sort of like cute black and white art style. By the way, I'm looking at this is painful to look at. I'm looking at all the stuff that's being published by Microsoft this year. As Dusk Falls was July 19th. Grounded comes out 1.0. It's September 27th. And then Pentiment on November 15th.
Yeah, those are the 3 games we talked about, and nobody gives a shit about any of them.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's been a bad year for Xbox.
It outside of Game Pass, it really has, man.
Have they got a release date for like Redfall and Starfield?
No.
First half of 2023.
They
That's the
haven't
best you
even
can
gave
get.
it.
Yeah,
They haven't
doesn't
even
have
gave
a
a date.
Nope.
Nope.
And I actually want to play Redfall. That looks. I mean, it looks like my type of game. Honestly.
It looks like another. What was it called? Back for Blood.
Yes, it does look like that. You know what? I've actually played that because the expansion came out, and that actually they've changed around a lot of stuff in that. That was actually pretty good now. It's on Game
Does it
Pass
still have
too.
cards?
Yes, it does, but they've
it
changed
still has
drastically the card system, like what they do and stuff. But yeah, it's not bad.
All right. Continuing on Extra, we're getting Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX, which is not a great game, but whatever. Rabbids Invasion, the interactive TV show. Rayman Legends, which is an awesome game. And finally, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Complete Edition.
Also an awesome game, man.
Let's talk about Premium. you get one PS1 game.
What is it?
Siphon Filter 2.
Oh boy.
This next part pissed me off more than anything. Because nobody realizes this. Nobody paid any attention to this. If you had PlayStation Now, before this switched over, the Sly Cooper games were playable on PlayStation Now. When they switched over to PP, they took them away. Now they've added them back so they can have bullet points.
Is this, though... How do I put this? Is this natively accessible?
No.
It's
PS3
streaming?
games are all streaming.
Cool. Great.
These things were already there. They took them
Yeah.
away. They brought them back 2 months later so they could have a bullet point in their blog post saying you get the Sly Collection, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, and Bentley's Backpack.
And
Dude.
it's also in a higher tier.
Yeah,
This is the
it's
premium
PP,
tier.
The PP tier.
You gotta have the premium tier to do this. Now, there are 2 more games. They're both for the PSP, and boy, they are bangers. Toy Story 3 for the PSP,
Okay, you got a friend in me.
and Kingdom of Paradise for the
I don't
PSP.
even know what that is.
It's an epic action RPG. That's what this
Toy Story 3 is a good one, actually.
Yeah, but is that really like a highlight? Like, let's talk
Toy
about
Story 3 is a way better game than has any right to be. What was the other one called?
Kingdom
Kings
of Paradise.
Kingdom of Paradise.
But Anthony,
Oh, God, that game. Oh, Lord.
let's talk about Sony's legacy history of video games.
Ken, you already know my feelings on this. This is a horseshit money-making scheme that seems to have their head firmly placed up their ass. It's just hands fiddling about with the back catalog because the head is up the ass, so they can't see or even hear others. Just hands and legs moving around, randomly picking games.
Are any of the old school Resident Evil games on there?
Director's Cut.
Director's Cut?
That's it.
Okay. How about Metal Gears?
Is that
Nope.
the director's cut? Is the one that's got this terrible soundtrack, right?
Yes, it is. It's the one with...
I love that song. That should have been the song the man wanted
Drew,
to make love
this-
to on
this-
Reddit.
This service has been out for 3 months now,
Uh-huh.
and there's a total of 10 PS1 games, and the fucking service launched with 8 of them.
Yeah, that's wild. Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And people got excited because when they first launched it, they made the blog post about all the PS2 games. Those were already there. They didn't add any.
So they haven't added a single PS2 game.
No, they're all the old PS2 on PS4 games. You remember those?
Oh,
Was it
yeah,
War
like,
of the Monsters
It
and
was the Rogue Galaxy.
Yeah.
yeah, like all those ones that have been there for years and years and years. Those are on the service, but they've not added any new PS2 games. And in fact, the PS3 streaming games, they took stuff away.
What's their angle here?
It's Sony. They want your money. That's why there's a $70 Last of Us remake. That's why the PlayStation 5 went up $50. That's why PlayStation Plus Premium doesn't give a fuck about your money.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually if you don't put stuff on there, people will cancel, right?
No, they won't.
There's a journalist
that something is coming. We have all
There's
this
a
stuff.
journalist out there that Terrence was blocked by.
Oh man, fuck that guy.
What
who
happened
would
there?
be more than glad to spend $70 for nothing just so Sony could see it another day.
Oh yeah, he'll buy a PlayStation branded can of air because spend $70 for it because it has a PlayStation brand on it. This dude, Drew, like he's a journalist, a gaming journalist. He basically was justifying the price hike that Sony did for the consoles. And like I just said delete this. Like that was it. And apparently he blocked me for that. He went on a blocking spree and blocked a whole bunch of people because a lot of people were coming at him about it. It's like, how can you justify? And you're a journalist. Like, you're supposed to be objective, but Nick, you got your...
Or at least fucking try.
Or, right, try, but like, damn, man, like, you own Sony's nuts. Like, for what?
I don't understand it. I don't understand the tribalism of fanboys. Like,
it's worse now. It's worse now.
It's way
Yeah,
worse.
because because it's okay when it's kids. I hate to say it that way, but it's okay when it's kids.
Yeah, kids are.
But these are adults that
ignorant.
have kids,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like I've said it before, but I've seen people say these things. Like I'll see something that Xbox posts or something that PlayStation posts, and I'll click on it, and then one of the first comments is Xbox better or PlayStation better, and I click on them. This guy's like a 38-year-old man with two kids. I'm like, does your wife know you talk like this?
Right. Every time it's like, you a grown ass man. Who gives a fuck what system you're... Like, are you all serious? Like, I'm about to leave Twitter. Like, Anthony, I get so pissed off reading that stuff. Like, y'all don't understand how many times I have, like, typed up, like, gone in on somebody and was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna hit delete because they ain't gonna say nothing but some bullshit anyway. Like, so I don't understand the tribalism. It frustrates me.
Bootlicking never serves the one licking the boot.
No!
So don't bootlick, you fucking idiots. Like, Sony only wants your money. They have to put out a good product or they'll stop getting it. You going, oh, well, games are worth $70. Absolutely is not helping anybody.
No.
Even if they are worth $70. Let's, for a moment, just say that video games are absolutely worth $70. I don't fully agree with that statement, but we'll just go with this. They're absolutely worth $70 is the same mindset that leads us to it's $80, to it's $90, to it's whatever the fuck they want to charge. And, like, I'm not saying that it's a perfect method, but, like, in Japan they do sell, like, niche games for more money because they know they're not going to sell as much. And I'm not against different price ranges, but we, as, you know, Westerners, deal with two price markets when games release, outside of independent stuff. It's $20 or it's $60, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's either full price or it's half price when it comes out.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for a while. So it's just, like, I don't fully comprehend why anybody would be like, yeah, this is the method that works, and I'm okay with paying more. Because it just screws up everything. Because now the games that are half priced increase as well, because, you know, that's just how it works. And I get everything's going up in value, blah, blah, blah. Inflation's horseshit, and there's reasons for it, but not for this video game podcast. Anyways, it's just, I've never understood the idea of bootlicking. You can like corporations. I'm not saying you can't like corporations, but you can't blindly defend them against criticism. Microsoft makes mistakes. Oh, Microsoft makes a tons of mistakes.
Yep.
PlayStation makes mistakes. Nintendo makes mistakes. They all will fuck you given the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay to like what they put out that is good and isn't predatory. Like, I like the new Kirby game that came out from Nintendo. They're not asking you for extra money. It's $15. That being said, tomorrow Nintendo could absolutely do something shitty too. I'm not going to be like, this was worth more money. You should have charged more. It's bizarre.
Can I also just say to any PlayStation fanboy who hears this, you're bragging about second place. And I know that just blew your mind, but Nintendo fucking owns you.
That's
okay. And if,
yeah.
And if we're really talking about like who makes the most money, it's some mobile dev.
Yep.
Oh God,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're eating everybody's lunch. You know the people that what's the company that has like stakes in everybody?
Embracer.
No. Well, yes, but it's not NetEase. Tencent.
Yeah.
That's where they made their money, guys. The reason why they can have their hands in everybody's pockets is because they made their money on mobile market. and mobile market is fucking king. That's the reason why you have, Ultimate Team and stuff. That's where it comes from. Yeah. And so when people are like, Sony's better. Sony will do that shit when they have the opportunity to. They just know that right now.
We just talked about it because they purchased the mobile developer, Savage Games.
No, but I mean, like, in their main series.
Oh, 100%.
Right now, it doesn't fit in.
Well, doesn't they do that with the show, though? Isn't because that's still there.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the show.
The show has that those cards.
So it's just like, but it works in the show.
Yeah.
When their studios start, when, maybe sales aren't as strong or something, or the return isn't as great, you'll see that stuff.
Well, they've already announced that they're working on 10 live service games.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Right? And they own Bungie now, live service game. So It's just like, don't defend these people. They're absolutely going to abuse any. I hate going into slippery slope because that's not how life works. But when it comes to money and being able to take it for offering less and less, it's been a proven fact. It's a slippery slope. Look, a new redesigned bottle, or look at the new packaging on Lay's chips. It's so they can give you less.
Yep.
Dude, think about it like this. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this where iPhone user, they get the green text and they immediately get turned off by the green text.
Oh, yeah,
it's a marketing ploy.
Yep.
It's a marketing ploy.
You feel superior because you have the blue.
You feel superior because you have the
people. Yep.
But I just also want to point out, like, I'm sure we're hypocrites in some way to this.
100%.
We all have something we absolutely fall into the marketing on. It's
sure.
But I'm not going to fight somebody.
Exactly. That's my thing.
That's just
I'm not going to do all of that. Like, that's the most. Like, yeah, I prefer my Xbox over PlayStation. But, nigga, we ain't about to throw hands over it. Like, it's not that serious. Like, and these people...
Well, now hold on there, Terrence.
Oh, we about to fight? Oh, shoot.
But, yeah, you're right. Like, it's... getting online and arguing about it, and it's weird stuff, and I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I don't lock myself
noise.
to a
and you can't even say that it's young people.
I sleep to white noise.
It's grown ass men and women, and it's like, wow, really? Okay.
I think it's funny because I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong. Watch me be completely off. I feel like it's going to die with this group of adults that are having this argument because kids nowadays are just playing Fortnite. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
What you're playing it on.
Yep.
So
eventually that'll be all crossplay, right?
It all started with us because we grew up in an era where most of our families were poor, and we could only afford one, so we fought.
Yep.
But it also mattered at that time.
Sure.
Right? The Genesis version of Aladdin is very different than the Super Nintendo version of Aladdin. And I only use that as a good example because I hear people say which one's better all the time still for those games. They're fundamentally different games.
They are.
But because they have the same title...
We used to have the Mortal Kombat fight.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat's a great example, too.
Yeah. Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Well, no blood, man.
No blood.
No.
Sucks, but it's like... But does it? It's a better playing game, but it doesn't have blood, so I guess it doesn't matter,
but now
right?
Call of Duty, it runs at 1 frame higher on the PlayStation and runs at 2% higher resolution on the Xbox, and basically looks exactly the same.
You can't see it, but I'm cringing.
But that's what they fight about.
I know.
Yeah.
Microsoft doesn't have
those
God of War. Some people don't want God of War.
Some people want Pentiment. I haven't found them yet, but some people do.
Right.
Well, my thing is like I am excited for God of War. I don't own a PlayStation 5, but you know what? Good on Sony. It's coming to PlayStation 4.
Of course it is, because you know why, Drew?
Because you can't get a PlayStation 5.
Because they want your money.
Exactly.
I'm willing to pay if you're buying the PS4 version for the PS5. You're not paying full price because you're just going to use the upgrade code. You're taking money away from the developers.
Do you remember the guy that argued that with me on Twitter?
Yes, that's what I'm mocking. I'm mocking that man.
Hours.
I'm mocking that man with my mocking tone.
Jesus. Jesus,
You don't
man.
understand. The devs deserve more, do they? Because they're not getting any of that money.
No, they're not.
If you think the devs deserve more, literally send the $10 that you would pay for the PS5 copy in the mail through an envelope. You know, the thing that nobody uses anymore. Send them $10 directly and say, here's some money for some coffees around the studio. That would go further than paying extra for the PS5 copy.
You know
I'm
why?
gonna use it.
Because
I'm
all that money,
blind ignorance.
all that money doesn't go to the devs. You know where it goes? It goes to the Sony shareholders, dumbass.
goes to Jim Ryan.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
his new
is
Porsche.
Oh man, I just like hearing it and seeing it all the time, and I'm just like, I am so sick of seeing it. I just want to see the fucking
Paying
news.
more for
Yep.
you're
I'm
paying
right
you're
there
paying
with you.
less for the same game. Ugh.
I'm the
Oh.
most
Dare
frugal
you.
motherfucker on the planet. If I can save 10 cents, I'm doing it.
Hell yeah, if I got a coupon for buy one, get one Big Mac, my ass is getting a second Big Mac.
Heck
That's right.
yeah.
Fuck my dolls.
I don't give a shit how much money McDonald's makes. That's not my goal.
Right.
If you told, like, I should have just responded to that man way back when that happened. Just been like, dude, I'd fuck your mom for $10 off this game.
Jesus Christ. Alright, I think that's about enough of that. We're moving on to the last story. I don't know what to think about this, but God, this is going to spark more fanboy conversation. So,
Sorry.
the CMA investigation into the Activision.
Oh god, this.
Oh,
So, this came out this week, and I don't know if y'all read it, but boy, it sounds like one of these guys on Twitter wrote it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
the wording
these
is
people
just-
have jobs. They have to be able to pay for their precious boxes, so I'm not surprised.
But I mean, like, if you read it, it literally reads like, if you do this, Sony's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm
Can
like,
Anything?
no, they're not.
I'm gonna spoil stuff for people that don't realize that legal documents kind of mean nothing other than they're just somebody has to look at them now. Anybody can get a legal document made. Anybody. So like being like Sony's gonna hurt because the Activision purchase, like yeah, okay, that's a
And-
point you put on paper. Congratulations.
Who cares? That's kind of the point. Like,
You could okay. Chris Chan copyrighted Sonic 2,
It's true.
and that's all you need to know about the legal systems in North America.
Yeah, a combination of two existing properties that are owned by two separate companies.
A man owned the
copyrighted
trademark.
it? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like $50 and like a letter.
Nice.
And like a man trademarked the word edge, which is one of my favorite stories ever because he tried to sue everybody that used the word edge in relation to video games. So like Edge magazine had to get permission from him. There was a video game called like a bunch of people started removing Edge from their name because he had a company called The Edge, and then he just started suing people with anything that had Edge in their name, and then he chose to pick a fight with Electronic Arts. And Electronic Arts has some of the best lawyers who crushed him, but it's just like he got the rights to a generic term and started suing everybody. And it's like it's not how the law works, but a lot of paperwork isn't looked at by people. We know people are looking for this stuff all the time because they want to know lawsuits and patents and all this shit. Half the patents never make it to market. It's just an idea somebody had. And anything that has to do with lawsuits and stuff, sorry, but like, this is before it gets to a judge. They have to legally file.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that this was just their recommendation on saying, like, hey, we shouldn't allow this. Like, this wasn't, I don't think it was, like, the final saying they
But
want to vote
that
against it or whatever.
But what I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, it's just some jackass's opinion. He just put it on
for
paper
sure.
and had it become a legal document. You can do that at home, everybody.
Yeah. And it definitely sounds
Does it
like
have
it
as
was
much
written by a
weight?
console warrior. Like, that whole, like, I don't know where they were getting the numbers from or wow.
In their ass.
Like, Call of Duty is big, but Jesus Christ, like, because PlayStation fans can't buy Call of Duty, the PlayStation will die. Yet the other side of that argument is that Sony has so many amazing exclusives that continue to push their product. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, your arguments aren't matching up.
There's better reasons. There's better reasons as to why the Activision acquisition should not go through. Sony has no place in that argument.
No.
It is completely about market domination, and that is what you stick to if you don't want it to go through. The moment you mention Sony, every mention of Sony and Nintendo should just be called competitors. That's exactly what you should rely on. As soon as you mention brand names, if it's not an example of like going competitors, such as Sony, Nintendo, as soon as you've mentioned specific contenders and them not being able to survive, your argument's moot because
you're showing bias.
You're showing bias. So if they wanted it to go through, and I mean, obviously we're not there yet, but it's like, hey, they're going to own a huge part of the gaming marketplace. Probably too much for one company, but look at Embracer at the same time, right? Embracer doesn't own their own box.
Right. That's the only difference. And I honestly believe, and I know everybody's like, well, they wouldn't have spent all this money to keep, to keep it on their system. I do think that they will continue to release Call of Duty on the other consoles because it's, at the end of the day, and I feel like people forget this in their zealot whatever of these consoles, it's a business. Microsoft wants to make money. They didn't pull Minecraft off of everything, but every time somebody buys Minecraft, Microsoft getting a check. So why would I not let Call of Duty be sold on PlayStation? Like, this is an idiot thing to argue. Like, it's a business. Like, that makes business sense to have it sold on the console. Like, it's just frustrating.
I got a comparison that Dick Hole that wrote the paper, Legalese, fails to overlook. What if you go and buy a physical product for Xbox One or Xbox Series X? What's it come on?
What do you mean?
Product?
It's on
Like
a
if you go and buy a game,
which is
comes
owned
on
by
a
Sony.
Yeah, it was owned by
Blu-ray
Sony,
discs are owned by Sony.
Yeah.
So every time something is printed on a Blu-ray disc, Sony gets money.
Yep.
Well, that's not fair. How is Microsoft going to survive?
Right.
Right? That's my problem with that conversation. It's like it doesn't work like that, and it's like Sony wasn't like no, Microsoft can't use Blu-ray discs. Sony said, okay, we'll take money for it.
Right.
Give us your money.
Business. Like, people.
And it's funny because like early on in the PlayStation life, like PlayStation 1, what did games come in? Big ass jewel cases. Who owned the rights for that? Sega. They had to pay Sega for the jewel cases. That's the reason why they went to cardboard, and then they just went eventually to the standard CD case.
Yeah.
I actually never knew that.
But it's just
thanks for that.
Yeah, that was it. So it's just like this happens. This stuff happens all the time. Companies aren't unwilling to work with one another. You only ever see that when we could make more money though.
Yeah, they don't want the mind share to be taken off of PlayStation to have people signing up for Game Pass for Call of Duty, which is what's going to happen.
That's what,
and that's what they're worried about.
That's what they're worried about, because that is, yeah.
But see, Sony, if Sony was smart, they would just be like, okay, well, here's Game Pass on our system.
Exactly. Like, Sony
let Microsoft become the service.
Right. They could just negotiate a deal with Microsoft and put Call of Duty on their PlayStation PP or whatever.
I'm going to bring it back. 2 years ago, I said the exact same thing. That Microsoft will stop making a console and will make a service, and it will be on everything, including PlayStation.
They're already on your phone.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
I can see
it's
that.
going to happen. So I called it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. You can go back and listen to the old episodes. I said that.
But I think it relies on Sony.
I think Sony will be kind of etched into a corner where they're going to have to.
They're already behind in the services portion. Microsoft,
I mean,
they're
clearly.
never going to catch Microsoft.
No. Now, the one thing I will say is that because of this whole thing that came out, of course, Phil Spencer had to come out and basically say, Call of Duty will be on PlayStation.
Yeah. I know he is so sick of that, having to do that. God dang it.
Anyway, that's all the news I've got. I've got one tweet, and Drew, this is 100% up your alley because I don't know what the fuck is going on. Adam wants to know, hey y'all, I'm just wondering, who's your favorite Paw Patrol character? Mine's Rubble. I only know this due to buying my niece a soft toy this Christmas. Bluey is the far superior show. Cheers.
I don't know what Bluey is.
I've never heard of Bluey.
I think that's another show, right? Like,
yeah. But his favorite Paw Patrol character is Rubble. Drew, what's yours?
I don't know. I guess it's going to have to be Rubble or Chase because that's really the only ones I can think
Bluey's. Oh, okay. I love the design of Bluey. I just looked it up. I actually do know this character. I didn't know what the character's name is, but I've seen this character before. He's a blue healer cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the little fox-looking thing? Is that
Yeah,
what
he's
I'm
a
looking
fox
at?
because a blue healer. Yeah, a blue healer kind of looks like a fox. Isn't it an
Okay.
adult cartoon or is it a kid's cartoon? Preschool, huh? I love the design of the character. He's great.
It's on
looking.
Disney Plus. You can watch it there.
There you go.
Okay.
I prefer Blue's Clues. Thank you.
Are you a fan of Steve? Is that what it is?
All the hosts are fantastic because they've all come back.
Yeah, Steve's not dead. He made a video about it.
Steve was losing his hair, and he's like, I can't be a kids show host that's losing his hair. So he left and played some like punk bands and stuff, and then has come back since, and it's like, I don't know. I just like the fact that like they're welcoming of old hosts, and the old hosts are like, yeah, I'll come and do it. It was great. And so like all three hosts have teamed up, and I've always liked the design of the actual animals on Blue's Clues.
All right. Well, that wraps up this show. I'll be very
You're welcome,
interested to
everybody.
see-
That was childish memories from Anthony.
That was after my time.
I'll be very interested to see how the show turns out when I piece it together. But that's it for us. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Drew's at DMI Fury, Terrence is at Lord Magnus, I'm at ZTGD, and Anthony's not on Twitter anymore, so kill.
Yay!
You can follow the podcast at N4G Podcast. You can follow the site at ZTGD Content, and check out Phoenix Down, the Sinking City, running right now. I've actually installed it. Maybe I'll play it because I keep hearing good things about it.
Dude,
but I
it's-
It's good.
It's so good.
It's good.
I've never played
when
it.
one of the big creatures shows up for the first time, it's terrifying. And every time they show up again, you're just like, this is an uphill battle. And the closer you get to some of the creatures, the more obvious of what you're looking at it is. And even then, I'm still not really sure.
No, maybe I'll kick it up. I'm having trouble playing games lately. Like so many of these open world fatigue games are killing me. So maybe something new.
What's nice about that open world is like there is no extras. It is literally just an open world, so you have to actually navigate.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
Yeah,
I might
you
check
actually have to
that
look
out.
at the map and read the street signs and stuff like that.
Unless you turn it on to the easiest mode, which I think it just marks automatically. But
Yeah.
But that's it for this week. We'll be back next week, hopefully. Unless this is a colossal failure, then who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it. Unless anybody has anything else, we'll get out of here. Peace, bitch.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G podcast. $0.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
Always looking angry.
Killer Wolverine. games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon. 8.0.
Killed the dragon.